I think we're live.
Hey everybody, welcome to the shop.
Hello, there's the Studebaker flashing.
I'm in the way of the Studebaker.
Yeah, there we go. Good evening, everybody.
Seizure warning flashing lights. We're here with the 66 Dart.
And you see Kim got the turbo out of the Mopar Cabinet of Madness, whatever it is. I don't know what she's thinking.
I know what I'm thinking. But before we get to the turboing, I just wanted, that was a little tease. Before we get to too much of that,
we got to say hello to everybody.
Oh, okay. Let's do the hellos. We'll work on other things once we get through the hellos.
Okay.
Who's here?
Who is here? Well, as usual, scroll back. Bud Carfano was here very early.
Welcome, buddy.
Grampito Vic was here a half hour ago.
Grandma and Grandpa Vic, welcome to the stream.
And I was here.
Welcome, Buff Del Campo. Welcome to the stream.
Who else? We had the whole conversation about stoves.
He was reading your conversation out loud. I think for a small area, diesel heaters, very convenient because you don't have to handle a lot of firewood. It fires right up, starts making heat right now.
Brenda's here.
The exhaust is pretty easy. It's usually just a little pipe. That's pretty easy to get going. It doesn't have a big power requirement, so that's not a problem. Diesel is pretty cheap to use for heating. So.
Hello, Brenda.
Brenda, welcome to the stream.
And who else? John Bossoms is here. And Bruce Culchin is here. Crash's Roadrunner Garage is here. Wow.
Hey, Crash.
Everybody's coming in. Paul Pajui's here.
Hey, Paul. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it.
Gearhead 6971.
Welcome to the stream. So who got here first at 9:30?
9:30 was Buddy Carfano. Grandpa, no, before that, Grampito Vic.
All right, Grampito Vic, I'm awarding you 3 points. And Buddy Carfano, I'm also awarding you 3 points because you were here first and you were here right at 9:30. So he's on the ball. Bruce Culchin is here. Welcome to the stream. JG Mopar's here. Says hello, Buff and Kim. Welcome to the stream.
UDX 76, which is CB radio stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He comes from the
other groups.
Yeah, Wagon Master 390 over there where I hang out on Thursday nights. Although he was there Friday night. This week was kind of weird, but I didn't miss it. Grandma Vic says she was third. I don't know if we give points for third.
I'll give you 2 points for being third, Grandma Vic. I don't think I've given you very many points, so it gets you started. I'll be generosity.
And we'll give you a little bit of Studebaker flashing. Thank you.
Potato. Have no fear. Dougster is here. Check out Dougster Wolverine Garage on YouTube. He's got some stuff. Lots of character from the Dougster. If anybody else wants to shout out their stream, their channel, their newest video, I don't think YouTube will let you post a link, and we can't change that. But feel free to mention, hey, I have a video out. When you do that, you are allowed to self-promote in our streams. Because most of the people here, just about everybody here, is doing YouTube stuff on their own self, and we want to see them be successful. And it really doesn't hurt us to let you, shout. Obviously, don't spam the chat with check out my new video over and over again. But a couple times throughout the stream, if you're here participating, being a good community member, please tell us when there's new stuff. Because sometimes YouTube doesn't suggest your content, and then I don't see it. I watched a bunch of people's stuff from like 5 days ago today, from like last week that I didn't see because we were really busy in the shop, and I was only just watching like the big name stuff that was getting pushed to me.
38 Racing, sir. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey,
Why is his name crashing? The first person who could say 38 Racing's first name, other than 38
Ray?
Racing, is it Ray?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ray, like racing.
Buffalo
Ray.
Campo gets 2 points.
I get points.
Yeah, for remembering names.
So what? Then I could buy your Subaru pretty soon.
Pretty soon. Eventually, you could potentially buy the Subaru with your points. Good quality.
Well,
folks,
I slept.
I agree.
I slept well last night, which I don't always do that. Kim must have been up all night because I woke up this morning, refreshed my screen, and the very first video that's suggested to me is from Kim Fixes Things, and it was put up like 13 minutes ago or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And I got up and I looked in there and you were asleep, and I'm thinking, man, you just put that up.
I did put up a new video
And I watched
this morning. I edited it overnight, and it kind of describes what's going on with this whole 66 Dart project today.
Mama M cubed M3
of Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans.
Colleen,
channel.
She says YouTube sucks. Hey, well, you know,
hey,
YouTube's one of those things. YouTube's one of those things. It's as bad as it is good. You know, I'm glad it's there, but yeah, I'd run it differently. Let's see here, KJ. Kylie's here. Hi, Yins.
And Mama Cubed, I'll give you 2 points for saying Ray before anybody else did, even though he got it first, because you probably already had it typed in there. And I know the names, but they're really slow to come up. Brain damage, it'll do that.
Oh, God. Dougster says, went to auto parts store closing sale Friday, bought $200 worth of stuff, but my receipt was 6 feet long.
Whoa.
Hardly anything was over $10 each.
Nice.
Jack. Hey, Jack. How you doing?
All right, guys. I have some carburetors, and I'm going to help you to identify them. And I think several people here are going to know. So their fingers are rapidly on the keyboard probably already.
Jack calls you Kimski.
Oh, hi, Jack. Thank you. All right. This is the manifold. It is a Super 6 manifold from a Slant 6 Mopar. I got 2 carburetors, and they're both made by the same company, and they're kind of both designated as the same thing. And they look like this, and they look like from underside. They look like
Danny Boyd's here.
This. Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me what they're called?
Dougster Garrett says, better than going to Wally World and spending $200 and only having 8 things in your car. Well, 38 says it's Carter.
This is right. You got the brand name, but what is the designation of that particular carburetor? They're both called the same thing, although there's 2 different varieties.
Danny Boyd says BBD.
That is right. And do you know who knows what BBD stands for? Okay. I'm giving Ray, I'm giving you a point for saying Carter. I'm giving Danny Boyd 2 points for saying BBD.
Colleen says 1912. I don't know if that's a year or a model number. Barrel shooters. Okay, Kim, you're missing stuff.
I'm reading them, but I don't see the answer yet.
Okay, so Colleen's wrong. Blackbird Disco.
Stands
for underwear.
I don't think it does stand.
BBD.
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Hip belong. Big bodied Detroit.
Nope.
Welcome to the chat. Sergeant Carter. I remember him.
Disco.
I'm sure when I was in the Air Force, there must have been a Sergeant Carter somewhere.
It does have 2-barrel shooters, but it is not called the 2-barrel shooter. This
38 Racing says, Danny, that's BVD, not BBD.
BVD?
BVD is the underwear.
That's right, it is the underwear. But
Dan says, oh, wait, BVD is the underwear. Well, first time I heard this BVD, I thought there was like BVD. I thought they were kidding, like it was underwear. But I didn't know anything about 2-barrel carburetors on Chryslers. Well, we ended up using a Ford carburetor on mine with an adapter. The holes are about the same size, but the mounting holes are a little further apart. So you can buy an adapter to do that. And I wanted her to just do that. And she's got a Holly 2-barrel. You know, then you can use all the Holly stuff to change jets and everything. Pretty cool. But I don't know. She wants to try this stuff first.
Nobody got it.
Both barrel Dodge.
Nobody got it. I'm starting to think maybe I need to.
I saw somebody else come in. Oh, Daryl B. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Daryl.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Happy. Is it Saturday night?
It is Saturday night. KJ Kylie says ball bearing something.
Yeah, KJ Kylie, I'm giving you a point. You're really close.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Dougster says the ball and ball carburetor is named that because of the brothers who made it, even though it also has 2 balls in it. What? Ball and ball carburetor? Hippie long. It has a ball in it.
I believe it stands for ball and ball double.
Really?
Yes.
So Dougster's right?
The ball and ball thing, yeah. Ball bearing damage, yeah. Let's see if we can find the balls, because I don't see balls.
You're going to take 2 of them apart at once?
I'm only going to take this one apart. I've had this one apart 4 or 5 times, and it still doesn't work. It's plenty clean. It just will not idle. It just won't. And we found that the body is kind of warped, and it had the wrong gasket, and we updated the gasket.
So KJ Cotty said ball and ball something, and then Dougster said the ball and ball carburetor's name because of the brothers. So they're both kind of right.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Dean Stevenson's here. Good evening or good afternoon or whatever it is.
Ball Masons, that's right. It's named after the mason jar. Oh, that's.
What do you got? Gunk in there? Got your hair in there. Oh, that looks nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good.
KJ Kyler says, I forget the D part. Sorry, I'm old. That's what I always blame all my forgetfulness on. Ball valve design.
Here, you could show them the.
Hippie Long says, better being in a dumpster.
Clever.
Well, I'd have to agree with that.
The way it was running, yeah, on his car. Here, show him the.
Yeah, it was on my slant.
Show him the accelerator
We
pump.
finally gave up on my slant and put that Ford carburetor on. It was perfect for auto light.
Yeah, go ahead and show him the accelerator pump.
Oh, this is
how nice that is.
That is a piece of crap.
That has been well destroyed.
Well destroyed. Yeah. You know what I'd have to do, Kim?
What's that?
I have to hand this to you, and I have to get up and go look at the fire.
Again?
Yeah, because it's been a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to, and I'm noticing.
I gotta work.
I'm starting to feel a little bit cool. So I'm like, okay, what's going on with the fire?
All the heat is gone.
What's going on with the fire? What isn't going on with the fire?
KJ Cali, you did fine. So the other thing is there's 2 varieties of the BBD carburetor. There is the early design. I don't know. They're not usually called early and late. They're called something else between the 2. And I'll show you. One looks one way from the top down. One looks like this. And then the other looks like this. So they're different. See this one, the accelerator pump is inside the housing, and this one, the accelerator pump sticks out, and there's a lever that actuates on top. No, neither of these are lean burn carburetors. Neither of them are. That's the Holly 2280 was the one that was used on the lean burn, I believe. But even that, yeah, not a Carter carburetor. Or Good one and the lean burn. No, these are both good ones. Actually, I like this one a little better, and it is the later one. The early one has its
Ah, Dylan's here.
merits, maybe.
Hey, you night owls. Yeah, we're night people in the shop.
Okay, this is kind of obscure, but you guys will want to know this if you ever do decide you want to work with one of these carburetors. The one with the external lever for the choke or for the throttle. The one with the external
For the throttle.
not throttle, accelerator pump
Yeah.
is called the short, and this one is called the tall. If you search for them on Amazon, searching for BBD short will get you this one. BBD tall will get you that one. Direct from China. Now you know everything I know about these monstrosities against. This one's stuck. I'm going to see if I can lubricate it and get it to come free. I don't know that it's ever going to.
She's spraying some kind of stuff in.
It's just a little bit of lubricant. I want to see if it helps. Oh, it's already loosening up.
Campo Vic. Sorry, everyone. 4:30 a.m. Eastern Coast comes. Add early. Okay, so you're gonna take off. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, yeah, we come in here in the middle of the night and work like fools.
Ask them if they know.
Thanks for stopping by, though. I know you got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, we start late because we're late. We're night owls. Ask them if they can identify what that is.
What?
I just pulled it out of here.
Kim wants to know what this is. She just pulled it out. Well, she knows what it is, but she wants, it's a.
Trying to make the stream interactive.
Olive's here. All will know what it is.
They're earrings.
Oh, Levi says, all right, all heading to bed. Just want to say hi. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Dylan.
We love to see our friends, and we know everybody cannot be here super late at night. Have a happy New Year if we don't see you. Also, hey, feel free to stop in on Tuesday. We'll be starting a little earlier.
Yeah, Tuesday will be pretty good. Daryl B says metering rods.
It is metering rods. They go into the jets, and they are vacuum controlled if they're working properly.
Dougster says it's a power piston.
It's like a power piston, I think.
JG Mopar says step-up piston.
See, I don't know. Maybe they are called.
Maybe they have names for those, but they're those little rods that stick down into the jets, right?
Yep.
JG Mopar says step-up piston and two-stage rods. Oh, he might be right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, you guys are on the ball with that. These must be universal to other kinds of carburetors because they're just like throwing out the answer on that.
It says for the drop rods like in Edelbrock.
Yeah.
Campo Vic says Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. We'll be here on. We have a live on New Year's Eve. So
yeah, we actually are planning on it. We got
Tuesday night.
Nobody loves us around these parts, so we just do our own thing.
Dean Stevenson says they're dancing knitting needles. Old cars and music. Good evening, says metering rod.
Wow, everybody.
JG Mopar says I had that carb on my car.
These are pretty reliable. I'll bet if I clean this old piece of garbage out, it'll work. I'll soak it in some Campo.
What would have been on a 63 Plymouth 318, Polly?
This.
That's what was there. Cope Racing transmissions here.
I think so.
The last video I watched before I came up here was yours, showing all those aluminum parts for inside that transmission you tore down. It's a pretty interesting video.
Have you ever built a transmission?
I never. Well,
he's never built a transmission, but he watches all the videos.
Wait a minute. When I was 17, I built a Ford-O-Matic with a friend, and we ruined it. So, if you want to count that,
I built one, but it didn't work.
Well, that was what was that? 50 years ago and I didn't know what I was doing.
I mean, I think back to all the dumb things I did when I was trying to build cars back in the day. Every one of them was stupid, but that's how you learn.
It's a cast iron Ford-O-Matic out of, I think, a 56 Ford.
I mean, it would have been easier to learn if I had somebody who knew what they were doing to oversee my work and tell me when I was making a mistake. That would have been cheaper.
Cope says, thanks for watching. Man, your stuff always pops up in my suggested list. And I'm subbed to a lot of channels, and I don't know why some pop up, some don't. But yours always pop up. And, man, when I see one, it's always interesting stuff, so I go straight to it.
Balls.
And I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, I got something to eat, came in, refreshed my screen, and there you were. So I clicked on it, watched it, and ate my dinner, and came up here. Are those carbs the same that would have come on a 2-barrel 318? So Colleen's asking that. Dean Stevens says, ruined it. Don't you mean prevented other people from making another mistake?
That's right.
You know what? We tore it apart, and we ended up taking it to a transmission shop, and we had the some clearance set wrong in the clutches, and they actually fixed it. We ruined some clutches, but other than that, we ended up using the transmission, but somebody else had to bail us out of it. There's Jeff from Two Hacks. How you doing?
Welcome to the stream, Jeff. All our friends coming in.
Everybody.
All our rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Dean Stevens said there are 3 sizes. The Super 6 one isn't the same. Is not the same as the 318.
They have different jets and metering rods, but otherwise they are very similar.
Oh, you see, the first time I took a carburetor apart, a ball went flying across the room.
Yeah, that's an amateur mistake.
Yep.
I
was like 15 years old, and I was in my bedroom, and a ball went flying somewhere. Went into a box full of crap that I had model cars in. I was digging through that, trying to find that ball. I didn't really know where it came out of.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of learning. Knowing where things come and go out of these things.
Owl says, sorry I'm late. Having some computer issues. You weren't that late. I mean, we started at 9:30 Central, so what, 10:30 your time?
We're just getting started, because I'm still here. Otherwise, I usually wander off.
38 says, there's built and there's successfully built.
That's right.
Oh, do you want to talk about the, well, we did a video on it. Maybe just let the video.
We can talk about it if you like.
Okay, well, we got.
Did anybody watch the video of what's going on with the 66 start?
Did you already put that up?
No, the one I put up this morning.
Oh.
We already talked about it for a second, but.
Well, this engine's got to come back out of the dark.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Because.
I've already got half of it apart. I don't know how much I feel like climbing all over it tonight. It doesn't matter if I do it tonight or tomorrow.
Hippie Long says the short BBD was stock on my 64 273.
Yeah, if it's a 2-barrel, this is what it would have had, is the short. It was really, really common.
So what happened was we put this really nice engine together, real nice bottom end, real nice head. Kim ported it. And it fired right up. When we put little white fingernail polish marks on all the push rods to make sure they're spinning, We started up in 4 of those. Well, we put a used cam and used lifters.
I left the one that was in there. Yeah.
And she made a call that it was probably going to be okay. Well, it was a bad call. So the 4 of those lifters are not turning. They're not spinning. So we decided we need to put a cam in it rather than shredding that cam and putting all metal in the engine and everything. So it's only got a couple of minutes on it. So we got talking to...
we had a conference call with Professor P.
Professor P, Shane
from Slant Daily Garage and the AHRA.
So we're going to get a cam from him. And I guess we'll tell you all about it when we get it because we don't have it yet. And maybe some of those new lifters. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the new lifters. what are those new lifters called? The ones that they're coated with some kind
I
of
don't know. They're special coated lifters. They're
special
supposed to
stuff.
be the cat's meow.
So we're gonna, just to make it easy. Oh, and then because of the cam, we're gonna need some different springs. So rather than trying to pull that out, pull the radiator, and the grill and all, you still can't get the cam out. And then you got to undo the oil pump from underneath. So why not just lift the engine out? It's not that hard. Everything, yeah, DLC, that's it. Danny Boyd got that. I don't know if he gets points for that or not.
DLC. I will give you 2 points, Danny
DL
Boyd, because we're trying to
DLC coating.
sound smart.
So
From Edelbrock.
everything in that engine compartment's clean. Bolts are clean. Everything's, it's real nice. 2-Hack says DLC.
Oh.
Somebody else said D or DPF. DLC lifters, yeah. Diamond Light Coating.
Diamond Light. Who said Diamond Light Coating?
Paul Pachui.
I'll give you a point for knowing what it meant even.
Colleen said they said it like right together.
All right, I'll also give Colleen a point.
So
they were both typing at the same time.
So
Jeff, you don't need any points. If you want anything, it's all yours.
So with all the clean nuts and bolts and everything fresh in there, that engine will come out pretty easily. So we're going to just pull the engine out, and DPF mean Dean pees freely.
Dean? Did Dean say that?
No, Dan said that.
Dan, you guys are working together to be weirdos.
So Tavo just stopped in. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
Or good afternoon, whatever it is.
Southern hemispherical friend.
So, yep. So the engine's coming back out. We'll put a cam and lifters in it, and then because we're doing all that, of course, then we'll have to put springs on it. So we'll put valve springs on it, and then Kim decided she's got the Super 6 manifold. We might just put it on at the same time. It's like what do they call it? Project bloat. But it won't be that hard. I mean, you got to put it together anyway. So
I was almost done with the bloat, and then
she said she'd get it running before the first year, which she did. But
yeah, it ran for 5 minutes. We did put it into drive to make sure it moved, and it.
Yeah, and I ran it to the gear, so we know it moves. So it's just engine's coming out, so we can do a little more to it. Put it back in. John Bossums, I asked live stream if Kim liked to work on carbs. Sure looks that way. Kim likes to work on everything. Last night my glasses fell apart and then I couldn't see. So I said, Kim, help me with this. Because, Kim fixes things. So
we should have videoed that. I didn't even think
she
of it.
put my glasses back together. The lens fell out on the floor. But yeah, now Tim's here. Tim says, finally got here. Well, that's okay. It's usually we start at 10. It's not even 10 yet, so we started early.
Welcome to stream. You're just in time. We're going to be here a while, so enjoy yourself. How's the fireplace going?
It's doing really well. I just hadn't closed the top down, so there's too much going up the chimney. Danny Boyd says, wish I could adapt a Super 6 intake to my Ford 240 D-stroke 300. Well, at least the intake's separate. It's not like my 200 where the head on a 200 is pretty much the way it's going to be, I mean, you can machine the top of it off and put 3 1-barrels or something, but those things don't flow very well. Put a turbo on it, I guess. I don't know. It's good enough. It's a daily driver for now.
Yeah, we'll probably.
And I told Kim that at No Name Nationals, I'll drive it over there and she'll have the Dart running. Maybe I'll race her 6-cylinder Dart against my 6-cylinder Ford.
Maybe I'll whomp you.
And she'll probably run away from me. But
at this point, the car is going to start being fast.
Car's going to be faster.
We've got a lot happening here, and the car is going to start to really wake up. And that's part of why we're doing the Super 6 preparations, because I think Professor P, he's going to help us get a discount for the parts, I believe. But in exchange, he gave me this Super 6. He wants to see it on the car. He wants to see the whole package running, to really show off. Like when you're giving somebody brand new prototype stuff, you want to show it in its best light. So we'll do that.
So we'll put the 2-barrel intake and the new cam and lifters.
Yeah, we'll show it in its best light.
I gotta scroll for a second here.
Yeah.
Because my memory isn't good, and I gotta sit. There we go. DLC. I gotta remember DLC.
Diamond Light.
Tim, Tim says, Tavo, good video on your roof. Yeah, I watched that too. You got a whole car. Oh, here we go. Ads coming in. So I'll just be quiet for a minute here.
Well, this is interesting. Now to take the other one apart and see which one looks better. Looks like a better rebuild candidate. I mean, this one I could probably make work. I need a gasket. I might even
Okay, maybe the ads, you canceled them out by now. Sorry about that. Let's see here.
It's not more than about a minute worth of ads if they
200 intake doesn't separate from nothing. Yeah, you got to machine the top of it off. It's a big pain in the ass.
Yep.
KJ Kylie, I never put the tools away until after I road test. Oh, we had so many tools out.
I had to put some tools away today because
just too many. They start getting too many sockets on the floor. It's like rollers, you know. Good video on your roof. Yeah, I watched that. Dougster says, Kim and Buff, does your wood stove have a heat exchanger in the pipe above the wood stove? If no, you're wasting some heat. No, it has a thing that closes down. It has a few little holes drilled in it, so it really keeps the heat in.
It does not have a heat exchanger, and yes, we would get better efficiency with a heat exchanger.
It's pretty good the way it is.
It's got a dampener.
When we close that dampener down and we have I mean, it just sits there and stays. It doesn't burn the wood quickly and stays nice and warm. Yeah, I know it. Well, you know, at some point, the wood stove becomes the project instead of the stuff in the shop. So, you know.
It was a big investment to get the pipe out through the roof and get everything going, and it was working good, and we just have never gone back to making any other changes to it.
Dougster says 55-gallon drum heat exchanger would be the cat's meow for you. You know, I built one of those one time, and it lasted about a year before it rusted through. So if you're going to build those 55-gallon things, you better have more of them around.
They have a shelf life.
They're really thin, and they have a shelf life,
yeah,
which is 1 year.
Maybe more, but
yeah, you might get in the second year. Yeah, but when the fire spills out the bottom onto the floor, you wish you would have changed it.
That's not good.
So yeah, mine was getting holes in the bottom of it already. Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. Good evening, 2-barrel Carter. Throw it away. Oh, Tavo, here we go. Oh, Super Tavo. Chat.
Thank you so much, Tavo.
Trying to get the. Oops, I missed. There we go. Studebaker lights up for the super chat.
Did you watch the new Tavo one?
Yeah, I sure did.
I did too, Tavo.
Ad blocker compensation
time. That looks like.
Thank you. See, the super chat gets the Studebaker lights.
Tavo was working. If you haven't watched Tavo's content, check him out on YouTube. And Tavo was working on what's his car called? What's it called down there?
Tavo?
Yeah, what's the 4-door car that he's working on?
It's a Valiant, but I think it's a Chrysler Valiant down there.
And he is going to drill out all the welds and put a different roof on the car because it's all oil canned and all messed up.
Well, somebody cut a sunroof in it.
Yeah.
And he tried to fix the sunroof, but that, it was already a mess, so he struggled with it. So now he's got a whole roof to put on it.
That's a big job.
That's a big job. So
I much respect if you have the patience to drill out all them welds and fix that.
Destroyer 08, welcome to the chat. He's going to scroll by here real quick, so I got to catch this.
Welcome to Stream Destroyer.
Hey there, can a 2-barrel intake carb get better fuel mileage than a 4-barrel?
It can, if it's tuned properly.
Yeah, but we're not going to put a 4-barrel on. This is a 2-barrel intake is a Chrysler stock intake manifold for the Super 6.
The problem with a 4-barrel is that then you have to have the self-discipline not to get your foot in it. But if you have vacuum secondaries on a 4-barrel, then you have really little primaries. You can actually get really, really good gas mileage out of a high-quality, well-tuned 4-barrel if it's matched properly to the engine and you drive conservatively, that's what matters. It's not how many barrels it has. Generally, the 1-barrel carburetor is the cheapest model. It has the least design, like it only has a primary and it doesn't have as many different kinds of jets, and then you go to a double barrel carburetor, it's got more complexity, so hopefully it's more efficient through the entire range of RPMs, and then a 4-barrel is even more efficient. So if it's in tune properly and if you drive conservatively.
John Boston said, Buff, enjoyed the video. You drive Kim's Dart. Thanks. Man, it's just scrolling so by. I'm going to miss some. I'm missing some chats. I'm sorry.
Oh, the one where we drove it up to the grocery
Dean Stevens
store.
said, VG Valiant. VG, very good.
Very good.
1971. See, in Australia, they have all these different letter designations that they never used in the U.S., so I really try to keep up with it, but I can't. Tavo says he tried to weld up a roof and made it 10 times worse.
I mean, you tried.
Dirt Road Landing. Happy Saturday evening, everyone.
You learned a lot. Did you, Tavo, what was welding process did you use for that? Did you do like Bad Chad does and just do little tacks to keep it from getting hot? Or did you use a torch on it? Or how'd you do that? I should know. I probably am showing that I'm...
Doug says, Kim is dropping facts. Plus one. I don't know.
Yeah, I was. I was telling them all about how it works.
Danny
Somebody
Boyd,
asked.
a 4-barrel can get better miles per gallon if you can avoid the secondary.
That's right. If you could stay out of the pedal, it'll get good gas.
That's what a water jet's for. Just don't ever use the secondaries.
Look, here it is again. Both of these carburetors. If you ever
look at the inside of that.
If you ever have problems.
Oh my God.
Both of these carburetors, this you guys were calling it like the power valve or whatever. Both of them were seized. It's not like seized real bad, but it doesn't move. So like that's both of them. So that's a common thing to go.
Okay, I got to get some of this chat.
All right.
Tavo, VG, Valiant, May 70 through March of 71. Okay, and I like the looks of those. Destroyer 08. I have a 71 318 Edelbrock intake and Holly double pumper with headers. Oh, that'll use the fuel. I've had double pumpers before, and they're not made for fuel economy. This particular one is June 70. Okay, so Tavo's is a June 70. Danny Boyd, 1 idle per cylinder. All of his roof skins are harder than they look.
I would imagine, yeah. Like taking the leaded part off? That sounds like...
Watching Bad Chad, he had somebody else welded a roof for him and got it too hot. Made a mess out of it. He was really upset. Because, you got to weld a spot.
Yeah.
Keep blowing air on it, keeping it cool. And he's pretty good at that. Potato skins taste better, though. Potato skins. What did I miss on that?
Potato skins. I don't know.
Because they only sold a tenth of the amount they did in the U.S., so yearly styling upgrades were out of the question.
I see.
So just the added alphabet soup letters. So a little tax with poorly set up MIG, which I have no idea I'm using. Danny Boyd, spread bore. FTW, yeah. Brenda says, so where is
FTW is for the win.
Oh, for
that
the
means
win.
He likes the spread.
Oh, I thought it meant there's another thing FTW means.
No, it means for the win. I don't know what you're thinking.
I guess if you ride motorcycles, it means something else. Okay, Brenda, so where does the turbo fit in all this? It's over on the table.
The turbo?
The turbo's for my car, but Kim robbed it out of the thing, so I don't know what she's thinking.
The turbo is probably for his car, but if it is, then I'm going to get one for mine, and it's just to mock up so I can work on the exhaust manifold for the turbo, because there is no, well, that's not true. I think Gill Welding and Fabrication makes an off-the-shelf turbo that goes with the Aussie Speed intake manifold, but it is Bring out your Bitcoin. It's a beautiful piece. I mean, don't get me wrong. To have somebody else build it for you and have it right and all sorted out and pretty like that, yeah, I'm not saying he's asking an unreasonable amount of money, but it's more money than I have. I don't know. I can't afford it.
And Dutch says all this little spot welds. He says half inch or something. You do a half inch of weld, you'll warp the hell out of a flat sheet. Yeah, spot, and way over here spot, and blow on it with air, and a spot, and then spot, and eventually you'll have it all done. Then you got to be careful with the grinder, because the grinder will get it hot enough that it'll that the sheet metal will get hot. So you got to do the same thing there. You know, a lot of people don't like Bad Chad's work because he's kind of he's a little rough around the edges. But you know what? He knows how to do that without ruining big sheets of like the big side of a car or a roof or something.
Results.
The guy gets good results, and he won't hammer weld everything and make it all perfect metal. He'll get it really close and put some filler on it.
Oh yeah, he loves the filler, but
that's okay. You know, if you watch Bad Chat enough, you'll learn how to.
He's not doing restorations. He's doing.
I've watched him do chop tops and then push it outside in the snow and watch it rust. It almost hurts to see that. Dean Stevenson says turbos fit anywhere.
Well, yeah, but you got to hang it. You got to get it in there.
Danny Boyd says 6 Weber blow-throughs. Yeah, I don't know about that. Dudster watched an interesting way to do sheet metal butt weld, but I already read that. Dean Stevenson, but port independent runner induction is a power adder, and against the deed of gift for Professor P's category. Oh, we're not running. We're not even going to try to run in that.
No, this is a 6-cylinder.
In that new.
It's a really interesting class, and depending on what we do in the future, maybe we'll try and run it, but not with anything we have right now. And we have to get this car together this year. We got to get his car together this year, and then we'll get one more project after that if we're lucky, and we don't know what that is yet. So we'll just see. But maybe the van.
But Carburetor says the more money you got, the faster you go. Speed ain't cheap.
These are true statements. Well,
Danny Boyd, I'd love a Cleveland head. Yeah, you know that's what Dallas runs. He's got a cleaver, which is the bottom ends of a 427 Windsor with Cleveland heads on it. And man, if you ever seen that Thunderbird run, that's in fact the second annual named Nationals. He had the fastest car on that second year. ME6 says evenly spaced ports, so take 3 standard manifolds, cut the center 2 runners out, and just use the 3 of those triple BBDs easy. Stevenson, Howard needing stitches. B&R Racing, how you doing? Good evening. Stitching up a Cleveland 6 head. Tommy Hanlon's here. Hello from Dublin, 4:12 a.m. Sunday morning. Oh yeah, you're the early bird there. 4:12 a.m. in Dublin, Ireland. Dean Stevenson says 4:12 Sunday afternoon. He is halfway around the world.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
We're global, folks.
Alex Taylor from Hot Rod Garage. Her dad started a YouTube channel. Dennis Taylor, really top shelf fabricating. Really?
Nice. Well, it doesn't surprise me that she came from good stock.
Let's see here.
Smart girl.
Tommy Hanlon. Hey, Dean. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Brenda says periodic grinding wheels dressing keeps it cutting well and not overheating the weld. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be the bigger and the flatter the sheet, the more you got to be careful with heat. And the first time I did a deck lid, putting a spoiler on a deck lid when I was 20 something, and I warped that thing so bad I ruined it. It was a 68 Firebird, and I had to get another deck lid, do it right. Although it turned out good the second time. See, the 333 Triple Crown class does allow 4, 6, and V6s. Didn't think it was going to be that way, but it is. Well, yeah, but I don't know how competitive, a slant 6 isn't going to be competitive.
No, I think a minimum of 300 cubic inches. You can't have a 6-cylinder.
BNR, I was looking at a stock replacement slant 6 cams.
Cam?
Oh, cams a few nights ago. One step hotter, 252 advertised as stock, 260 hotter. Right. We're going to be working with Professor P on a cam, so that's going to be real interesting. And I'm sure he'll be talking about that too.
The thing about a slant 6 is you can only go so much lift. You can only go so wild with it without getting really crazy with it. I mean, the lobe designs have improved, and these new lifters I think are supposed to be better. They're supposed to be able to take a little bit wilder sort of cam stuff, so we're looking forward to that. But there's only so much. If you've got a good cam and it's working, I don't know, it might not be worth making a whole lot of changes. I think a lot of people imagine the gains in the seat of their pants, but this, I don't know, stock cams are pretty mild in a slant 6.
BNR says comp cams and milling slant 6 cams available. Yeah, well, we talked about this earlier on the stream, that Shane, Slant Daily Garage, Shane Polito, he's an engineer at Edelbrock, and he, one of his jobs is to design camshafts, and he's a slant 6 guy. He's doing a custom cam for us, so
yep, he's going to spec it up, and he knows his stuff.
I'm sure he'll be talking about it, and he got all interested in the project, and he gave Kim this manifold, this 2-barrel manifold. So yeah, we're gonna have fun with that.
We're in good hands. We know that he's going to give us some great advice.
And might want to get a hold of that guy Powell Cams on YouTube.
No.
Yeah, I think we're going to we've got.
I'm not saying that guy couldn't make us a good cam.
Yeah, it's just we've already made a deal with
and he's
the lead engineer at Edelbrock that designs camshafts,
And yeah.
And he's a slant 6 guy.
And he's a No Name Nationals guy.
And that's
part of our car group. The whole thing is, it's difficult, because there's a lot of overlap. There's lots of different people that we'd like to work with.
There's a lot of good people out there.
But we've already made that decision.
What's this Danny Boy? Fitting music when you're taxiing to the takeoff runway in an L1011. I thought Howard's also does slant 6. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the community that do this stuff, and because we talked about Howard's cams too, but we're pretty close friends with Shane. And
yeah, we're watching him every week on his channel.
I don't know if you ever watched Shane and Dallas Brown, the AHRA. Dallas Brown's president of the AHRA, and Shane's, they do a live on Wednesday nights at 7 Central, and it's all tech stuff. And that's 2 hours of pretty good stuff. If you're not watching that, you might want to. Grand National Real Turbo 6. Cars, Mustangs, minivan, slant 6 cam from Professor P. Great choice. Well, yeah, and he's kind of been in this project from the beginning, and so at No Name Nationals, he had Kim this manifold that she's got right here somewhere. I don't know where you put it though.
I had to put it out of the way.
Yeah,
it's back here. It's a Super 6
intake manifold. 2-barrel intake. And he gave it to her, and he goes, "Here, you can have this as long as you do something cool with it." So we're doing something cool with it. And Kim, and this 6 is a little bit nice. The bottom end's real nice. She uh, ported the head, did kind of a mild port job on it, but cleaned it up, and that'll help a lot. So this would be a pretty nice. This would be a pretty nice thing. Although the Ford Barrett is to the 2000s what the Hemi 6 was to the 1970s. Well, Cars and Music, Dean Stevenson. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I joined the party a little bit late. I do like Goodbye Stranger, though. Oh, they're talking about music. Something's biting me. Feels like something bit me on the neck. Okay, they're talking about all this. Danny Boyd's a vacuum hose headphones. Dean Stevenson, on the Lockheed TriStar, it's hard to convert net thrust to proper road horsepower unless you're operating a diesel plane tug. I don't know how you just push the 3 throttles forward, be on the rudder pedals, get your V speeds right. Let's see. I've never flown an L-1011. Ridden in them. Let's see, B&R Racing. Back in 1998, I built a 403 Oldsmobile on a tight budget, $600. Parts very affordable back then. I bought a comp cams 260 Magnum and their hydraulic lifters and comp valve springs. It had way more horsepower. See, and Shane used to design the comp cams. He was a comp cam guy, so which is now part of the Edelbrock Group. So there's your man.
The guy knows what he's talking about. We trust him, and it's going to go good.
Folded the armrest up near your ear, you could listen to the programming without those crappy headphones. Old Cars and Music. Dean takes a bit to understand. Yes, sometimes I understand Dean, and sometimes it's like, Kim, help me with this. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, he can be a little bit different.
Because she knows more about music than I do. And
he can be a little different.
He'll quote some music or something in there, and I'm like lost.
Oh, yeah, he floats the music stuff in there, references.
See, Dean says, I'd imagine it's the same. I was lucky to sleep near an airport at Christchurch. But, I never heard the UFOs. Oh, UFOs are quiet. The old commercial plane headphones. Yeah, you remember those? They were tubes. The sound came up the tubes. I remember those things. I estimate a horsepower of that 403 Oldsmobile to be close to 300, way more than the rated 185 horsepower. Of course, one was probably net, and the other one may have been, I don't know what horsepower is what. Let's see if it's at the rear wheels or if it's on a dyno, an engine dyno. UT was in my old two-door Buick Electra, two-door, ran awesome over 200,000 miles. I put on that old 403, B&R Racing. So just a mild cam swap is often a hidden surprise. Well, this one will be, this one's no good. We were just putting a stock engine together with a mild port job, and
we were trying to stay economical, but
yeah, we were just
here we are
building just freshening an engine up. We started with an oil leak, fixing an oil leak, and now we've got this going. Danny Boyd, I grew up near Dayton International Airport, so did Old Cars and Music, and we're old enough to tell you that them turbojets were loud. Oh yeah, I remember. See, I was at Travis Air Force Base, and there were KC-135s that had J57 turbojet engines. Yeah, they rattled the barracks. Dean Stevenson 403 was a great engine with turbo hydromatic 400. BOP pattern gearbox. Yeah, you know they made an adapter for that to go to the Chevy. My Turbo 400 had a BOP transmission with a little adapter on it. It worked great. Because when I was back then, when I had that, the BOP transmissions were, you know, a rebuildable core was $75, and the Chevrolet ones were $200. So I bought the $75 one, and I bought the $19 adapter, which is what it cost then. 38 Racing, it's going away so quickly I can't keep up. I did toy with the idea of mounting an early Buick draw-through turbo on Stone Soup while I was here. Oh, that would have been interesting. Low compression, LDS 403. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with this. I'm sorry, I'm missing some chats. Danny Boyd, I think 403's got the Turbo 350s. Well, they probably did. Dean Stevenson, no manual gearboxes. They were scared windowed 403 block might become a permanent disarrangement. Oh, God, arm's hurting me. Whole car's music. Dean is really challenging. He's upside down. Car's music. Danny Boyd, especially the Thunderbirds and Blue Angels. I don't know what that's about. Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly. Good evening. Welcome to the chat. I don't know why my arms bother me. DNR, that Buick Electra, 4,300 pounds, 256 posi gears. Stock Turbo 400, Olds 403 comp cams, 260. It would street race 5.0 Mustangs, A-OK. Probably never come out of first gear. Danny Boyd says fighter jet is like open headers. Yeah. I remember F-100s going over and hitting the afterburner. It just, bam! It's like single stage afterburner open up. Like an explosion. Dean Stevens says, it's because A, I'm often wrong, and B, I use wrong keystrokes, and C, I'm a little bit as G and D. I'm a D class student. I don't know what these guys are talking.
I don't know. They're all wonky donkey.
Oh, Dick Dastardly says, I tried new cheap plasma cutter. Works good. Kim bought a cheap plasma cutter, and it works real well. We use it.
I mean, it'll cut a lot of metal.
It'll cut a lot of stuff.
It'll cut through thick stuff. I bought a pretty good. I got a 50.
Yeah, well, she didn't buy the cheapest one, but she bought an inexpensive brand.
I bought a garbage brand, but I bought.
And it works quite well. Yeah, it's not the lowest power one. Back in the late 90s, we had Billings, I don't know what this says. I think that's supposed to be Speed Shop in Rockford, Illinois. Super deals on new parts. They're talking about how these students and done they are. And Danny Boyd says, I've got the report cards to prove it.
They trying to decide who's the dumbest. Dumb and Dumber.
Dean Stevenson said 301s had the Turbo 200s. So did my, I had a Turbo 200 on my, what's that 4-cylinder called? Pontiac Iron Duke. I bought them separately, and I put them in some of these people won't like this. I put it in a 69 Dart, pulled a slant 6 out, and put a Turbo 200 and a Pontiac Iron Duke in it. And then I had to crank the torsion bars way down because the front end's so light. But I don't drove that car for years. You open up the hood and it had the stock air cleaner on it. It said, keep your GM vehicle all GM. It was pretty funny. And the fan was back about this far from the radiator, but it stayed cool. Used the stock Chrysler 6-cylinder radiator. Oh, here we go. Ads. Sorry about the ads.
Ads?
I said at least we get warned.
When do we get the subtracts? We're getting the ads. Do we get any subtracts?
Dick Dashley says mine couldn't be cheaper. You know, it just means you probably can't cut a really thick stuff, but you probably get a lot done with it. Kim's plasma cutter is the same model as mine. Oh, Tavo says this is the same model as mine, which I have not used yet. Only had it for 5 years. Plug that thing in, man. Dick Dashley says it was free. Well, that's the best tools you can get.
Free is
I
a good
love
price.
free tools.
Yep.
Some of my best tools are free. Teen Stevenson. Power spectral density swings are sure fun. Danny Boyd says, I think 403 Firebirds were Turbo 350, but I don't know about something like a 77 442. PNR Racing, my friend's 1980 Turbo 301 Trans Am has a Turbo 350. Colleen says, Max, I'm not mad. Go you. JB, howdy, good evening. Dean Stevenson, the 301 Turbo did get the better gear. Okay, this I'm gonna have to. I'm probably missing some of these. Patrick Sullivan. Oh, he says he sees no ads. Oh, I get a warning here when the ads come up. Well, do you have what do they call it? Premium. If you have YouTube Premium, you won't see ads. But YouTube Premium, you pay for that, and so the content creators still get paid. No ad on the Roku, but have them on the phone. Okay, that's 38 Racing says that.
See, YouTube can choose to show ads to some people and not to others. I don't know what makes them determine that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Dick Dashley says, my buddy gave me one, was still in the box. He had 3. BNR, Dan, yes, 403 and a Firebird used Turbo 350. Turbo wouldn't fit no longer with the huge pallet-style catalytic converters. Oh. JB saying hi to everybody.
Welcome to the stream, JB.
Teen Stevenson, 301 2-barrel, 4-barrel, they missed out. Incidentally, who's going to give the winner the dunce hat? Jeez. Danny Boyd says, BNR Racing, how about the cutlasses? Dean Stevenson, SAE JB, welcome to proper Old English units. BNR Racing Turbo 400 won't fit 75 through 81 Camaro Firebird with stock exhaust catalytic converter. Danny Boyd, I'd like to see someone work a 301 into something really ballsy and NA2. Patrick Sullivan, oh yeah, premium, forgot. Oh, you have premium. Yeah, if you have premium, you're not going to see ads. See, I have premium, Kim doesn't. So Kim sees the ads. She tells me I should get rid of the premium so I can understand the ads more when they come in and understand what's going on. But I don't know what it
And
is.
when you
like
guys get ads,
$16 a
tell
month.
us who advertised.
Well, yeah, but they see the ads.
I know. Well, unless it's something you don't want us to know about, tell us who
has to do with what you watch, not what we watch. Tiny B. Peugeot. We used to call them Pigots. Peugeot. I don't know what that's about. Dean Stevens, I like to see DCI do a custom short deck 301 stroker with Siamese bores for those wicked non-Siamese heads. Anybody 403 and a Monza style Starfire would be something. You know, I like those Monza bodies, but man, those things came and went. They're all gone. There might be some around somewhere, but they probably went away in the cash for clunkers or something. They disappeared quickly. Oh man, so did there's a front drive I really like, which is a 92 and 93 Pontiac Grand Ams. Man, those things just disappeared because those things had the 303. What engine was that? The 3.3 V6, which looked just like a 3.8 V6. And I had a couple of those things. I really like those cars. Just a nice get around car, you know, but they're just gone. They disappeared in the cash
I don't
for
know if you could
clunkers.
see because it's real little, but look, check out the very tippy tip ends of those.
Everybody see this?
No, they won't see it.
They won't see it.
Will they be able to see?
I don't know. They don't. I'll get it over in front of my face. Maybe you can see you can see the step.
The ends of those emulsion tubes are full of gunk.
Let's see.
Full of gunk.
Land Custom Classics is here. Old Cars Music. Have pellet catalyst gone the way of the Dodo Bird? I sure hope so.
Pellet catalyst?
You remember they had all those pellets, a big flat thing with pellets in them, instead of the whatever you call the other one, ones that look like honeycombs or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a cattle converter designer, expert, or whatever. Land Custom Classics. Through Verizon, I pay $8 for premium. That's interesting. Yeah, I pay about double that, I think, with just I pay YouTube, Google, I guess. Danny Boyd, 76 or so olds ended the 455, so they brought in the 403 as seen on GM motorhomes. Dean Stevenson, AC still make replacements, but they are on interchange, not the same. JB, Cutlass could have the Turbo 350, Turbo 400, 3 or 5 speed manual. I can't even imagine a 3-speed manual. But I guess they did. B&R last year for Turbo 400 and a Corvette was 1976. KJ Kiley, YouTube is slowly and sneakily increasing their ad content. You know, and that's somewhat up to the content creators, because I can select the what the spacing is between the commercials, or I can set it myself. But I used to be able to set it myself differently. Now the least I can do is once every 30 minutes. So I set it to that, and I see them pop up. Sorry about that, but I could set it to 10 every 10 minutes. Or maybe every 5 minutes.
It's pretty aggressive, and if you look at the amount of money that you can make if you have...
Yeah, but to drive all your viewers away, you're not making any money, and annoy everybody.
People they only want the good viewers, I guess.
So I set it to as far apart as I can make it. JB 3300 Buick V6, like the HO Quad 4 myself in those. Oh, I like see, I had a couple of them with the Quad 4s, but I had problems with some of those Quad 4s. You know, what I didn't like about the Quad 4s, when you needed to put a water pump on, you had to pull the oil pan, get it behind there, because the oil pump was driven by the chain that ran the double overhead cams, and it was really easy to screw that up. And I hated doing water pumps on those things. Just hated it. And You know, there was no room to work in there. Sideways engine, fender there. Oh man, H cars were designed for small block Chevy. I'm not sure what an H car was.
What's an H car? Tell us.
Brenda, joys of corn gas. It belongs 75 and older for me. Emissions, yeah, 75. We had, I don't know where you are. 75, we had catalytic converters here. 74, we did not. Danny Boyd, up for LS is in the later GM vehicles, but that would be badass. I'd try for some genuine Pontiac architecture for my OCD, though. Dean Stevenson said the 403 is way better. Only in 1977, Ford fixed 351 M and 400 cracking. Oldsmobile caused it. And, you know, my modern, I'm this chat's going so fast, it's just going away. I'm missing stuff. I'm sorry, everybody.
It's not supposed to be a.
I just can't keep up with it. Yeah.
It's not supposed
Primary
to be.
light. Yeah, I watch busy channels like UTG. He hits about every 10th or 15th one.
You guys are
38
allowed to
Racing
repeat
says,
yourself.
Buff, I'm not going away just because a couple of ads. I'm just telling you, though, I set it at the largest distance I can, which is 30 minutes. Danny Boyd's Monza Sunbird, Starfire, and Skyhawk. Man, I did like that body. Except something I used to do on those cars, the doors are really long and heavy, and the bushings would go out and you open the door and they drop down about a half or 3/4 of an inch. And I put a lot of bushings in those doors, fixed doors on them. Ford made a punch, probably a bunch of them, 4.2 V8s, 3.8 Essex V6s, 3.36s. Yeah, I have 3.36. 2.3 Pinto overhead cams. I had a bunch of those. After 79, a horrible idea. I don't know why. I don't know why it's a horrible idea after 79. Yeah, my 2.3 Pintos, every one of them broke pistons. Yeah, although they'd run for like a year, knock, 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 and then you take them apart, the piston skirt falls off if it isn't already in the pan. But they keep running. BNR Racing, that new AHRA Triple Crown, I can't legally race in 9 pounds per cubic inch. My 70 TA is going to be 463 cubic inches. Yeah, just don't run in the class. I mean, they're just trying to make a class that's cheaper for people to run in. It's not required to run in the class. I mean, Kim and I are going to go out there and run 6-cylinders that there is no class for. Yeah, but we'll run against each other and run against other 6-cylinders.
Don't stress it. It's okay.
Yeah, don't stress it. They're just trying to make an interesting class for people that can't.
Your car is still going to be a lot of fun.
The whole idea is that you can run in a class that isn't big bucks, you know. KJ Kylie, I like zero back pressure cat converters. If you don't know what I mean, yeah, like empty ones. BNR Racing, 368 cubic inch limit of Triple Crown.
Yeah, we're not going to do Triple Crown either because we don't have a V8 car.
Well, it's still some money. It's still some money.
Oh, it's a lot of money.
My 454.
But there's a lot of people that already fit into the class, and it'll be a good time.
Well, it's BNR says my 454 can't do Triple Crown, too many cubes, and it's CFI. So don't run in that. Run in the 2810.5. Or just go run. Just
do call out. Somebody else
call out, because that's mostly what's going on anyway.
Honestly, I don't want to run in too many classes. It's more work, you know. It's not like there's a lot of prize money. It's just something to get people.
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just something to make it interesting for different people, to group people together into something.
Hey, Dean, I discovered this because I couldn't stand the 5-minute Shen Yun cult ads, but changed my mind about how much I wanted to see a vid. Whatever ads you get, whatever companies or whatever ads you get, it's because of what you search, what you talk about when your phone's think it's off. All that stuff, it's targeted to the viewer. It has nothing to do with what channel you're on. Dan, that would be interesting. 368 cubic inch Cadillac V8. And you know why they went 368? Because the 360 Chrysler, if you have to bore it for some reason, you can still fit in the class. And it's so you can run a small block. It's still bore it if you need to. You need to clean up the cylinders. Disable that V864. Trouble. When I see Sunbird, it makes me laugh. That was the name given to the later model, very slow 4-cylinder version of our Holden Torana. See, the Torana, I remember seeing those things back in the 80s. I used to get the print version of Street Machine magazine from Australia because I was going to build radiators for all those Australian hot rods because it was summer down there when that was my slow period. But then when I had to build those radiators, I would had to do it during the summer and put them on a ship and send them down there. So I would end up building all those radiators during my busy season. So it just wasn't going to work out. Sure sounded like a good idea when I started on it. JB, somebody jumped a turbo 1980 Mercury Zephyr Z3 in Colorado. What's a Z3? You mean a Z7? I don't know what a Z3 is. It's scrolling so fast I can't stay with it. I bet the number of those in original condition be counted on one hand. Dean, you could have seen those 20 times over. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Racing Triple Crown is where Whirlwind wants me because my car is a Muncie 4-speed. One of the few cars of people in no-name nationals. Yeah, but you said your engine's too big.
Well, just run in the 4-speed class. There's a manual transmission class.
Yeah, but you can just go run a manual transmission.
Well, they're having a class for manuals.
Just manuals, I guess.
So just do that. There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah, do that. That'll be a good time. You'll show them
just don't run in a class. Just go out and
yeah. Don't sweat it. It's supposed to be a good time. The class.
They're not trying to eliminate people. They're trying to make
right.
They're trying to make a class for some inexpensive cars. It sounds like you don't have an inexpensive car. Cam and head 1900 Opel. All this stuff Dean's talking about. I don't know. It's scrolling away anyway. They dump that on certain channels. Actually, interesting. Not all played in my region. They quit it after 4 tour dates moved up. I don't know what that's all about. 38 racing, time trials, callouts, brackets, all fun. Not really any money classes anyway. Yeah, just do the callouts and the brackets and time trials and time trial. You're just running against yourself anyway. Dean, if you find a true 303 factory forged crankshaft, it might cost 20 grand. Old Cars Music Kim, I just figured out that you remind me of another Kim.
Cool.
Dick Glahaze. Kim, what's that name? Dick Glahaze. I don't know how to pronounce that. Daughter Kim. Targeted to the area. Chiyun is playing in Fresno, California. Chiyun is playing in Fresno, California in the next 30 days. Fresno. This 303 uses 400 block. Oh, Z7. Oh, man. A Z7 with a 4-cylinder is a pretty cool car. And what's really good is it's the same K-frame as the V8s. So I always liked those. And I ended up with one of the 6-cylinders. I got the wrong K-frame to put a V8 in it. So, just run this for a while. Danny Boy, yeah, Z7. Racing, there's only one NSB and me stick cars. Oh, there's only NSB and me stick cars.
We'll give it time. It's early yet. It's early yet. There might only be. If there's only 2 cars, John Wilburn probably won't run the class.
Dean Stevens, Toronto A9X radiators. The radiator therapy. I don't know what this is about. It's just, Danny Boyd, even a wimpy 301 crankshaft could be offset ground. Find those extra two cubes. And yes, 400 base stock deck height, 10.23, and low deck, 9.3 inches roughly. JG Mopar, my internet dropped out. Oh, so you were gone, now you're back? I hope you're back. Or maybe you moved over to
Stream.
to phone or something. Dean Stevenson, yes, 3.9, venerable, small Salisbury, a banjo in a Salisbury case. 38 racing. I don't think my better half will let me race her 59. For some reason, she thinks I'll break it.
You'll break it?
It's a stick car. Man, I was at a test site. I always got to tell the story. We had these 2 one-ton dually Ford trucks that had, I can't believe it, 1-ton diesel-powered Ford truck, and they had automatics in it. I can't imagine somebody buying one of those automatic. But they had them for us. And then we had a truck that was a little bit older, had a manual transmission. But I needed a truck for something. So they said, well, those 2 trucks aren't available. I said, well, I'll take the older one. The guy says to me, young guy, and he says to me, well, yeah, you know, that's a stick shift. You have to, you don't know how to drive that, do you? I said, well, of course I do. And he goes, well, you have to get checked out now. You have to get signed off before you can drive the stick shift. Yeah, all right, whatever. So I go out there, some young guy that's going to teach me to drive the stick shift. So I get in his truck with him, and he's going to show me how to do it. He's out there, he can't make it. He hardly can drive the thing. I said, you want me to show you how to do that? Of course, I learned to drive in a stick shift like 50 years before. So I get in, I just drive it across the parking lot, shift up to like 3rd gear. He goes, oh, okay, I'll sign you up. You're the instructor? Yeah, now I know why. Nobody knows how to drive stick shifts anymore. Let's see here. I don't think my better half. Okay, remember when the bracket races came down to just Mopar Joe's Cuda versus Tim? 318 will run, street van. Oh, I missed somebody. Elko Ant. Elko Ant tapping in. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream. That sounds like a new name.
It's a new name. We have new people. We have several new people on board tonight. Brenda Girl says top fuel. Hey. Some of this, I don't know what all's going on. I've lost track of what's going on. Paolo says, I forgot the Commodore 4. Filling the gap between the demise of the Sunbird and arrival of the, oh, what the heck is that thing? Chimera Minute. Tava, what is that word? Is that the name of a car down under? BNR Racing 303 Trans Am SCC engine was neat. Would wind to 9,000 RPM. Made 485 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. Had terrible reliability issues. Connecting rods failed. Never solved. In 68 through 70. Project dumped. Man, I remember the old original Trans Am was a 5-liter class. And that's what the Trans Am Pontiac Firebird was all about. And then when it became just a car they had to sell on the street, all of a sudden they had 455s in them. I was like, what the heck? That's not a Trans Am. But, you know, that's what happened. It became a really fun street machine. Yeah, I remember Trans Am races were pony cars with 5-liter engines. Cars and Music stick shift transmission, the ultimate millennial anti-theft device.
That's what they say.
I'm amazed that, you know, both my kids, my oldest son, who's now 43, But when he got his license, he'd already been, if you remember what a Myers mic, what was that went flying? Did you hear that, Kim?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Something went shooting out of there. I don't know what it was. There's a little shiny thing down there.
Oh, what is it?
It's a little thing next to that water bottle. What is that?
It's just a little piece of metal. That's not
okay.
it.
That's
I
not
think it
it.
just made a noise.
I don't know. It hit down there.
I didn't bling hard enough for anything to
Okay.
fly out.
So, I had a Myers Manx dune buggy a friend of mine had on an airport, a private airport, grass strip, and it had a Volkswagen running gear. So he was 13 years old, so I had him driving up and down the runway and learning a shift and everything. So his first car was a Ford. What's the small Ford pickup? Not the Courier, the one after that. So his was a Ranger, little Ford Ranger with a 5-speed manual in it. He's 16 years old. He drove that around for quite a while. And then my youngest son, I put him in my PT Cruiser, which had a 5-speed in it, and he learned to drive that thing. And he drove that PT Cruiser around for a while till he wrecked it. And then, so both of them, I wanted to make sure they knew how to drive stick shifts. And of course, the younger one ended up in the Army driving, I don't know, some kind of stick shift vehicles. Of course, the Army might be all automatics by now. I don't know.
Not all, but yeah, they're phasing those sticks out.
Some people think they can learn to drive stick shift off the internet. Well, and then I was in England. Of course, I left England in 2009, but they'd laugh at Americans because they thought none of us could drive stick shifts, and like everything in England was a manual transmission. Okay, I missed a whole lot because it scrolled by really fast. Oh man, it's scrolling fast. I'm sorry.
Outside it's
okay, Kim's going outside. It's pouring rain out there. 1970 through 72 Pontiac moved to different heads on 303 engine. Oh, there's a lot to be said there. Something on Ram Air 4 heads, power peak lower, engine lived, not sure on horsepower. Ford Boss 302 and Chevy 302, both refined. Yeah, I remember the Chevy 302 in the Trans Am class, and same with the Boss 302. Okay, I'm going to have to scroll down a bit. I'm sorry. Oh, Mama M3 says, I'm out. Okay, Colleen, have a good night. Take care. Elko Ant likes and subscribe. Yeah, thank you. JG Mopar, I like manual transmissions. Yeah, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're a young guy or an older guy. But, us older folks, it's just, the first car I ever drove was a 57 Ford station wagon with a 3-speed on the column, and that's just how you drove. Tommy Hanlon, I never drove an automatic. I don't know how. yeah, and you're in Ireland. Yeah, you probably got everything that's manual. JG Mopar says good night, Mama. Also says pretty sure present company can all drive stick.
I'm a terrible.
Old Cars Music, raining here in Monroe, Ohio.
I did drive this to Sykeston and back, but I'm terrible.
She's like.
I used to be okay at it, or maybe I used to think I was okay at it. But
well, it's different when you got a fully synchronized 4 or 5-speed or something. But on the columns, she'd never driven a 3-speed on the column, and she bought this car. And I kind of trained her and said, "Here, just look. It's just like on the floor, except it's up here." And so she kind of fiddled with it, and she got
too many years of being lazy.
She got so she could drive it. But I think the automatic in this car will make it a lot nicer car. Really.
Well, for me.
Well, I drove this. It was a 3-speed on the column that felt okay, but you're not going to shift that fast, our last year Last race, 1972 of the original SCCA race series was Pontiac's only win, 303 with ported ran here 4 heads and by Warren Brownfield cleaned house. Wow. See, by then I wasn't even paying attention to it. Tava says, I learned to drive a Road Ranger 18-speed in our yard when I was building buses. We were also a truck dealership. Oh, that's pretty cool. JG Mopar says he's 55 years old. Here comes the ads. Okay, I'll just let the ads play for a minute.
55 years, yeah.
Okay, maybe the ads are done. JG Mopar says he's 55 years old, and Kim goes, no, 55 years young. Yes, of course, you're
Yeah, careful who you're calling old. None of us are that much younger than you.
Manual transmission kind of person, sure. Danny Boyd says, I'm missing stuff. JB.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
I had a regular 350 air cleaner when the hood was up. Personally loved the 78 Skybird that popped up every now and then. Danny Boyd, I never drove a 3 on the tree or any 3-speed manual until I was 50 when I bought my truck. Man, I got a job when I was 16, and I had to go out to drive a truck out to a 1-acre greenhouse. And my brother, who was a year younger than me, he didn't drive yet. We go out there and we just pull weeds, and we do this 1-acre greenhouse. By the time we're done, the weeds are already coming up on the other side of the greenhouse. But they just said, go get in that truck and drive it. Take it out there. They gave me instructions how to get there, and it was a 57 Ford pickup with a 292 or maybe a 272 in it and a 3-speed on the column. I was a car guy since I was a little kid. My mother taught me what the H pattern when I was a little kid. So I just went out there and did it, and just drove it. It was, I don't know. We just had to do that. And so we did it. But that was 1970. So, there's a lot of manual transmissions around. 38 Racing, I learned on a stick shift. Also learned how to replace the gears in them when I sidestepped the clutch. Policarpano, grind them till you find them. Kim used to try to shift into first. Just before she stopped, I'm going to stop all the way because it was non-synchro first. And she into first. She learned. She didn't do that anymore.
Yeah, kept saying, stop doing that.
Yeah, stop grinding the first gear.
Man, he didn't make it easy on me.
Just remember not to put it first. The car has, slant 6. It's got enough torque. You can pull away almost from a stop in second gear. First 4 years of Pontiac Trans Am sales was actually a failure. Yeah, because they were just there so they could race in the Trans Am series. And later it became a sales success. You're right, because they put the big ass engines in them, and Burt Reynolds, yeah, all that stuff. Dr. Go, hey, how you doing? I learned on a 3 on the tree and a pickup in the morning, and a floor shifter on a deuce and quarter in the afternoon. I'm trying to read this, but it's going really fast. Working at 18, driving construction trucks. I was in the 5th grade when I first started. This is Danny Boyd. When I first started noticing black and gold 77 Trans Ams, which were new at the time. See, I had a Pontiac dealer across the street from me, from my shop then. Those things were all over the place. Dean Stevens says, because John DeLorean had left the building, pretty hard to be suiting Bunky Knutson, Levlin. DCD was at Chevrolet. DZD. I don't know, that's John DeLorean. Yeah, and Bunky was quickly removed from Ford. JG Mopar says he's never driven a 3 on a tree. It's just like a 3 on the floor, except it's up here. It's a little clumsier. Well, it depends on the linkage on the floor, I guess. I remember we used to get, what was their name? What was the company that had all the cheap parts? I can't think of them. The mail order catalog.
JC Whitney?
JC Whitney, you get the cheapest $19 shifter, floor shifter, and convert the 3 on a tree to 3 on the floor. Those are almost worse.
You know what? I don't think I ever drove a 3-speed before I got this car.
Brenda, 57 Ford Courier is a 3 on a tree with an overdrive. I love it. See, that's what I learned to drive. It was a 57 4-door wagon. Same exact thing. 3 on a tree with an overdrive. I bet that thing has, if you got the original rear end, it's probably got 411 gears on a with a 9-inch Ford. That's what ours had, was a 9-inch Ford. First year for the 9-inch Ford with a, I guess it depends on the engine you have. Ours had a 292 with the 9-inch Ford. And it worked out real well because the 411 gears with a overdrive was 70%, so it made it 288 in high gear, in the overdrive. What a perfect arrangement that was. My two Valiants are 3 on a tree and 3 on the floor. We never got a 4-speed in Valiants until 72. Dr. Go, 838. MJB. Oh, and JB, good evening. KJ Kylie, I prefer a 1-speed with centrifugal clutch. It's like a go-kart or a mini bike. 38 Racing, Brenda, I do like that combination. Still running one ourselves. JB, not to mention there were plant strikes, so F-body production was truncated in 1970 and 72. Brenda, 38 Racing, T85 transmission is a good unit. Man, remember those things. T85 is a great transmission. Danny Boyd, McNamara's morons. 2-barrel carburetors on big blocks. Some of those 2 barrels were big. Let's see here. See if Chrysler Australia bankrolled before Warner single rail 4-speed. It was an Australian replacement for new process A833 that we couldn't use. No A833s were ever used in Australian-made Valiants.
Oh, really?
Danny Boyd, never been to Pontiac Dome, though. Old Cars and Music. First stick shift car I had was a 72 Duster with a slant 6 and a 3 by the knee. Oh, that's even better. I never heard that before. But I guess that's like 3 on a tree, but 3 by the knee.
No, that's on the floor.
Yeah, because it's on the floor. It's by the knee. I understand. Courier. Brenda Carl. Courier has 355 factory 292 engine. Really? Man, we ours had so with the overdrive, what would that be? That'd be really high gears. Yeah, our 4-door, it was a 4-door country sedan, 6-passenger country sedan, which doesn't have the seat all the way in the back. It was a 292, 3 on the tree, overdrive, 411 gears. What a perfect arrangement that thing was. I wish I still had that. Olive says, come to think of it, I hope Mexican's adventures are going well. That's right. He's delivering a car up to the U.S. border. See, it's in the BorgWarner SR, then appeared as a top loader 3.03 replacement, and Cortina's XB Falcons became the 351 Cleveland 4-barrel transmission in non-4-barrel cars after August 73. Man, I don't know how you guys remember all this stuff. Danny Boyd, my Ma's Mustang was a 3 by the thigh. Is that like 3 by the knee, 3 by the thigh? Dean Stevenson and the Leyland Marina 2620 and P76, whatever that is, 38 Racing 355 gears would give a pretty good top end. Tavo, I also have an Impala straight shifter for a 3-speed. Impala straight shifter for a 3-speed. Push down on the stick and forward for first. Pull back, it springs up through the gate into second, then forward to top. Designed for fast shifts. Well, that's kind of interesting. JB Mopar, I have to call it a night. I have to be up at 4 a.m. Ugh. Oh, man. Well, and you're out there in California, so it's 9 o'clock out there. Yeah, have a good night and take care. Thanks for
being here.
Thanks for hanging out. Danny Boy 355 to 1 is the best compromise. Danny Boyd maybe 342 to 1. Brenda, the old 57 Ford has no trouble keeping up with modern traffic. Yeah, I guess not. The R57 Ford. See, my dad had a 56 Ford he bought new. Had one of those. Had a 292 with one of those goofy Holly 4-barrels that had the bowl up on top. Really, really goofy carburetors. But it had an automatic. Had a Ford-O-Matic in it. And then he later bought a 57 Ford as a second car that had the 292 2-barrel with the 292 and the 3-speed overdrive. 38 Racing Tavo, that sounds cool. Don't think I've heard of that kind of shifter. Dean Stevenson, the 56 Crown Victoria I saw had 3.7 axle and overdrive, 292 4-barrel. Wow. Dr. Go, I just looked at my broadcast sheet, and Chrysler code charts do not show my code. It skips my D54 code and doesn't show my gear ratio, but I know I have 323 and I've had it since new. Yeah, well, you ordered that car. So you ordered that car with some special order stuff, so maybe it just doesn't show on the code charts. Dean Stevens says it's easy, Buff, like Richard Holdner. I was a junkyard military kid. Dad would let me alone in the junkyard, which is best made owned. Dean Stevenson, yeah, teapot 4-barrel. You ever call those things a teapot 4-barrel, but it was a Holly. I used to think it was a Holly 3000, but it's maybe a Holly 1000. Kim, what are you yelling ow about? She got shit in her eye. Oh. You have a mirror. What do you need? Metal?
No.
Cleaner? Liquid? What'd you get in your eye, Kim?
Power lube in my freaking eye.
Power lube in her eye. It's not an eye drop.
I don't know how it squirted up in the...
And you got your glasses on. It still went around the glasses.
Yeah.
You okay? You okay?
Yeah, actually,
I mean, you want me to come over there and help you, or are you okay? You're okay.
Actually, Power Lube's not the worst thing I ever got in my eye. Wow. It actually came right out.
CRC Power Lube in her eye. She got it out.
I'm not blind.
Kim, you might have your finger in your eye. Flush with water. I think she went over there and...
I did. I laid down and I poured water down my face, and it already feels better.
You did that?
Yeah, and it already
Oh,
feels
she
better.
did flush it with water. I didn't know where she went.
Better.
She went over
I don't
there.
know how I got Power Lube and it already...
Tim's put 355s in my Demon with 833 overdrive. First 3 gears are fun and nice on the freeway. Yeah, I like that. I like, the old Fords with the handle. Where's my hand? It's a T handle that pushes in and out. Pull it out, it's off. You push it in, it goes in. It's a what do you call it? Planetary gear set that goes into overdrive. It's really a nice setup, Dean, please let me know where to look for D54 code. Dean Stevens, I've got 97 super leaded in my eye.
How was that?
Which is 4-star in the UK. 97 super unleaded. That's like something we don't get here. Yeah, what do they do in New Zealand? See, here we have the motor method and the research method, and they add them together, divided by 2 to give our octane rating. So we have kind of a weird octane rating. I don't know what they use in New Zealand for octane ratings. I don't know. That's U.S. weirdness, but I've kind of got used to it. Yeah, you can always jack up the rear, turn tire and count. Yeah, but one tire is going to go one way or the other. You got to, I don't know, lock up one tire and then it's double. Code's on the E52 engine number. Side, it's got the accident. Man, it just keeps raining harder out there. I'm waiting for it to let up.
Start building the ark.
Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that rain out there? KJ Kylie, I got 456 rear in my Duster. Don't go on the freeway anymore. I hope you can hear me over the rain. Same as your Dean Stevens says, same as yours now, Buck. That's what AKI is. Ron plus Mon divided by 2. That is some wild rain.
Sure is.
What? It's going time to look. Yeah, all it says, I think the rain sound isn't making it past the noise filter. I don't know if you can see the blue dot. That's where we are, right in that mess. Pablo says, my best eye catch was driving out a pin, which I didn't know was hardened. It shattered, caught 3 tiny pieces in the eye. Doctor took 20 minutes to pluck them out. I wasn't allowed to blink. Patrick Sullivan, not a thing. Must have had noise cancel. Yeah, I don't know. This mic's kind of weird. Sometimes it picks stuff up, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes Kim will be over there grinding on something. It blanks it all out. Sometimes we hear it. You know, Kim got metal in her eye, I don't know what, a year ago. And I think she had it in her hair because she didn't get it. She had all the goggles and stuff on, and she didn't get it in her eye until she got down to the house. And then she ended up going to the doctor. And they messed around and brushed and gave her some eye drops. It was still in her eye, and she went back. What'd you go back? It was on the 4th time. Got a different doctor, and he went in there and had it right out. And so they really struggled with that little piece of crap she got in her eye. Mike N, just joining. Sorry about the cam setback.
Oh, we'll get through it, Mike.
Oh yeah, well, it's just, you know, it's like, you know what happens is you make a call on something, and it's like, you know, you got a car with a lot of old cars, a lot of used parts. You make a call on something, and sometimes you make the wrong call. And
we thought it would work.
And you know, this is where, when you're a professional mechanic, and if you're doing something like this for a customer, I always say, you don't ever want this to happen. So you just tell the customer right off, it needs a new camshaft and new lifters, and we guarantee our work, and that's the way it is. And I have had stuff like this where some customer wants something used, and I'll write right across the work order, no guarantee, and write in my handwriting why. And they get really upset. And I really hate doing that to people. And you, especially when you know it's going to fail, or you got a good idea it's going to fail. In this, we didn't know it was going to fail because it was a running engine, but here we are, you know. So, I'd never make that call for a customer, but for myself, I would, you know. Dr. Go says, I did order the heavy-duty suspension. It has that code. Dean Stevenson, the F, M, and J's used all the same codes. Hello, Dr. Go, yes, almost immediately. Pieces were well embedded into Old Cars and Music. Tim, do you have the F-Body 833 in your Demon? Brenda says, nothing worse than rotary file shavings in the eye.
Oh, yeah, I've had that.
She's
not
had that.
Recently, but boy, is that
was like a year ago. Find a
oh,
way
no, I mean, I had it real good before.
Dean Stevenson, firm feel option. Danny Boy, Old Cars Music. Most of my 5.0s were 308s with one 273. My 2005 GTS 355s, and they're so much better. 273s are a real clutch killer.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
KJ Kylie, the moon hit my eye like a big pizza pie. What?
That's amore.
That's what?
That's amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Patrick Sullivan, here we go.
Super chat. Thank you,
there
Patrick
we go.
Sullivan.
You get the Studebaker flashing lights.
Of you.
That's the super chat lights on the Studebaker. Thank you, sir. Pretty cool.
Super chat.
Okay, let's see here. Dean Stevenson, it's at 147 miles an hour on the highway. 87, 225 horsepower Aero Fox. Yeah, today I went out there to take a couple of pictures of my car, and one of the things I was going to do was the door plate so I could get all the codes. Well, I went outside, took pictures of other stuff, and forgot all about what I was supposed to be doing. And by the time I remembered, it was dark. So it's like, okay, now we got rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. So okay, well, that's a super chat flash. So anyway, I don't know. I still don't know what rear end ratio I have because there were two different ones. There was 273 and 308. So I don't know which one it is yet. I got to.
So does anybody know? Can anybody answer Dr. Go's question about his code, or did we not?
Oh, they were all kind of working on it. I was going by in a hurry, and I didn't.
Oh, okay. You guys are working
on it. Tim says, no, it's from a big block Mopar 440. Got the 8 3/4 rear end out of it, too. Had them both rebuilt. Dean Stevenson, how are you playing with a Mazda rotary? Oh, God, I had so many Mazda rotaries back then. I don't know what he's talking about. What is that? I don't know what that's reference to. I got tired of Mazda rotaries. Howell says, what was up with the cam anyway? Lifter. Yeah, lifter's not turning. We showed it quickly here. Kim did a couple of videos on it. One of the videos is not up. It'll show it all. We had four lifters. We put little, took my nail polish, my white nail polish, put little marks on the push rods, and started up. It started right up. Ran great, sounded good. 4 push rods not turning, just sitting there still. So we didn't want to run it for very long. And we had plenty of lube up there. Valves adjusted plenty close enough. They're not too tight or anything. But so we're just going to pull the cam out.
Pull the motor out, pull the cam out, put new valve springs, new cam, new lifters, the whole kit and caboodle.
Just do it.
We got a plan. It's coming from Professor P at Slant Daily Garage. He's with the Edinburgh group, and he is going to be.
I think Olive caught all that, but she didn't catch the beginning of it.
Yeah.
She didn't catch the beginning. What
it was a used cam, and apparently it's just too warm to spin the lifters, and that's no good because eventually it will eat itself.
Man, some of them are turning really good. A couple of them are turning very well, and 4 of them are just
not
stuck.
Moving at all.
Just
and
stuck.
You just can't do nothing with that.
You know that's going to eat up a cam.
Yep.
My 92 GT 5-speed 273 would go 75 miles an hour in second gear. And my 64 Ford was like that. My 64 Ford had 3 O's in the rear end, so it was like 60 miles an hour, bump it into second, 100 miles an hour, bump it into third. And that was about 5,800 RPM, 5,850, something like that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to turn the Studebaker lights back on.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Mike and
The studio lights. The studio lights.
Another super chat. Thank you, sir. This is pretty cool. Hey, it works.
Thank you, Mike.
It works.
That's very generous of you.
Let's see here.
Never expected, but always appreciated. You guys are generous beyond our expectation. We don't really expect anybody to do that. So thank you so much, Mike.
KJ Kylie, Kim, 1 point for you.
I get a point. What did I do?
I'm not sure. She says, Patrick Solo says, you're welcome. I look for an eyeball related one. Oh. Let's see here. I got to catch up. Chrysler used to put 833 ODs in front of 294s. The F bodies usually had 40-inch tires. So it wasn't too hateful. Okay, let's see here. My truck has, Danny Boyd, my truck has like 272 or 280, and it's murder on a hill with the 3-speed. NP 435 Granny would work better. Well, Cars and Music, 294s. That is, they normally went in front of 321s with slant 6 cars. Danny Boy, plus like 31-inch tall tires. Oh, yeah, on a truck. Danny Boyd, I don't doubt it. Not much torque from the 240. You know, I used to drive an F250. It was a 65 Ford that had a 240 in it with a 4-speed with the granny low, and I think it had 456 gears. And then there was a thing called a Hona Drive, which was an add-on 0.7 overdrive. What a great truck that was, because the tires are kind of tall on that, and it had it belonged to my boss, and with 456 gears, it was fine. And then going down the highway, you just pull the gear shift up for the Hona Drive, and I don't remember what the final drive came out with, whatever 456 was, times 0.7. Somebody will tell us. BNR Racing, I'm back. Phone battery died. Oh, welcome back. KJ Kylie, that's a more Dean Martin song. So. BNR Racing, Dean, yes. DZ302 used in many 69 Pontiac Trans Am SCCA. Dean Stevenson, trying out the Charger. Pretty bold move for a Pontiac guy. Dean Stevenson says, that's Volare.
That's Volare. That's Volare. No, that's not how it works.
When something, Dean Stevenson has something.
When the PB blaster hits your eye.
The big Mitsubishi guy, that's Volare. KJ Kylie, Volare, New Bomb, Turk. Old Cars Music, Hona Drive. I saw a video about one of those here on YouTube. I just saw a video about one of those. Man, I wish I could find one of those things. They are, what a cool thing that was, because it was a separate thing. You mounted it in the middle of the drive shafts. You had 2 short drive shafts, the Hona Drive in the middle. And then it had a gear shift down there that you just pulled it up or pushed it down. Push the clutch in, pulled it up, push the clutch in, push it down. Upshift and downshift it. It was a planetary gear set. And man, did that thing work well. And that guy I worked for, had a camping center. And he pulled all these travel trailers around with it. And, going down the highway, you put the Hona Drive in with a granny low 4-speed manual transmission. Yeah, he almost never used the granny low. Okay, Kim, we warning everybody, 49 seconds till the commercials start.
Shoot.
So, wait, I got mixed up with the sumo wrestler guy again. Dr. Go, I run about 1472 RPM at federal highway speed of 55 miles an hour back in 81 with my 223 gears. Crazy. Not very quick. 54 miles an hour first gear before shifting to second. Hit 84 in second. Abandoned airstrip. 20 seconds to go. Okay, I'm gonna wait on this because I know there's commercials coming up. Kim, I'm gonna take a quick walk. I'll be back
All right, guys.
while the commercials are on.
Sounds good. Oh, there's always so much to do in the shop. Glad you guys are all here. We appreciate you. I'm having a good time. I'm just rebuilding this carburetor. I have rebuilt this particular carburetor 4 times and had no luck with it. None. None. But I'm taking it apart again. I'm finding more stuff that I don't like. So maybe this time is different. I don't know, guys. Maybe this time is different. That's what I keep telling myself. This time, different. But this guy really loves me. That's what I tell myself. Calling America. I want all your American ads. I'm gonna take this apart for safety. How come I don't see the commercials? Dr. Go, I think maybe they've just given up on selling you stuff. They just don't want to sell you anything. Don't take it personal. They just know that you're the kind of guy that knows what you want. You don't need advertising to. Now, either you have YouTube Premium or you already watched enough commercials and they don't feel like spending money on you anymore. I don't know. It really, just because it says it might run commercials, you might not get them. I don't know. Did anybody get a good commercial? Is anybody getting commercials? I don't. They probably aren't. Nobody wants to advertise on our channel.
Hey, Tim, I'm back in, but I'm going to be tending the fire first.
Oh, he's checking out the fire. My 83 Murata would kick out of first at 53 miles an hour and out of second at 83 miles per hour. It had 220 or 223s, yeah? Yeah, we haven't figured out how all this advertising stuff really works with YouTube yet. They say they're going to run ads and then they don't. Whatever. I think if you tell them you don't want to run ads, though, I think they don't show your live in the live feed, and so then new people won't find us. So we want to be, visible for new people to find us. They might enjoy enjoy the company. Those are silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Can you leave everybody alone for a minute? I need your help.
okay. My hands are full. Give me a half a second. Guys, I got to go look at the something probably with the fireplace. Be right back. Circle it that. Uh-oh. What'd you do?
You hold this so it doesn't spin.
Yeah. This here? Yeah. Just go back and forth. All right, we were cutting firewood. Leonard, do you have E10 ethanol gasoline in Tennessee? Yes, we do. I think we have E15 too. You have to know where to go to get to, anything that isn't just regular stuff. We also have gasoline that's zero ethanol. Just depends on where you go. What did I do wrong here? Did you guys get the circle? Did you guys get back from the circle of death? Circle of doom?
Yeah, I gotta get my. Oh, I'm gonna grab a water.
Are you?
You need a water?
No, I got one. I used it to wash my eye out. Because I am fool. Okay, I need a drop stuff. That's exactly what it is.
What's that?
He said it's a Carter Super 6 BBD. If you were here early, we talked all about them right at the beginning
We
of
got
this.
somebody new in here. It's
Somebody new.
somebody that wasn't here earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get my. I'm gonna move your chair for a second. Okay, you're gonna have to put your chair where you want it. This is not exactly where it was.
Okay.
Then I gotta find my. Geez, my pants are falling down. It's my bag of goodies. Rather than reaching.
Carter Super 16.
Who is this that's talking?
Did
Okay,
Dean
thanks.
just get here?
Who?
Dean.
Dean's been here for an
I've been
hour.
working on it the whole time. Did someone ask which carb I'm working? Oh,
I don't know.
Mike Ann asked. Is Kim working on?
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
I'm doing carb.
Oh yeah, because
builds.
Mike N came in kind of late.
Mike, I've got 3 of these carburetors apart on the bench, trying to get one that will run okay.
I got some water and I got some drink mix. I don't know what I have. But I'll put this up here. Oh man. Dr. Go will cruise the highway on a pillow all day long. Most comfortable seats I ever had. And I was talking to Kim tonight about what I want to do to my car. And of course, we got to put a heater in it. I mean, that's like the first thing. But while it's in here, it's got an old crappy carburetor on it. I'll either rebuild that carburetor or put a carburetor on it, so that's coming up. But what else did I say? There were like 3 little things. Well, the heater's not a little thing, but but to make it a nice daily driver. Ooh, that's some red stuff. Oh man, I poured this stuff in my drink. It turned bright pink. So we'll do that, and then I'll drive the car every day. What else was it I wanted to do, Kim? Something I don't remember. Oh, the brakes are a little weird.
The brakes definitely need some love.
I mean, they stop fine. It's just the pedal's low, so
They do not stop.
something isn't quite right.
I don't agree that they stop.
You haven't even driven.
That's true. I haven't. You got me there.
BNR Racing Emulsion Idle Circuit. I missed a whole bunch of them here.
What about
I should probably go back and get some of these instead of starting at the bottom. BNR Racing, I learned while on Corvette forum years back. Stoichiometric ratio. Today's E10 gasoline needs 14.3 to 1 air ratio to run correct. Past was 14.7. That would make sense. Yeah, is that all the difference? Because ethanol, I guess it's only 10. Doesn't have a lot of BTUs are much lower. see here, guys. BNRC, take vintage engines such as Slant 6 and run it on Tennessee and Illinois E10 gas. The engine always runs lean. Of course, we can, here in Tennessee, we can buy non-E10 fuel. Of course, it's more expensive, not subsidized. Okay, let's see here. The Dean says the oxygenated California blend was best at 15.2 IM test, but ran better at 14.3. Major issue, an oxygen sensor reads 14.7 with oxygenated gas at 15.2, and he's into testing.
We ain't got no stinking oxygen sensor.
I got an oxygen sensor. It's right here. My nose. I'm breathing. I'm alive. There's oxygen.
Okay, it's definitive. We have oxygen.
Emulsion idle circuit. And if I don't feel good, I go over to the torch. Like if I got like congestion or possible pneumonia or something, I'll go over to the torch and turn the oxygen on.
You will not.
Oh, I've done that before. You've never done that? Oh man, you feel better instantly. That's when I know I need to go to the doctor. When I breathe oxygen, I feel better. It's like, oh, I better go do something about this.
You're sick.
Haven't you ever done that? You
No.
torch? Oh, you just knocked a bunch of stuff over.
Shit.
Oh.
I mean, darn.
Let's see here. Gasket sits for him, or are we able to take them off without damage? I don't know where we're at here. It'll bury him in chem dip. Drinking transmission fluid? What? Yeah. Car's music. The seats from my 83 are going in my 88 Comanche, and the motor is going in my 82 Murata. With a few go fast goodies bolted on. I know I missed something here. I don't know. I'm sorry, I missed something. All it says they got ethanol free at the nearest racetrack. Wonder if that's so in other states. Yeah, here they have it at a racetrack, and then there's another station. It's just a local, no-name station where they have it. It's around.
Marathon.
Yeah, Marathon. Yeah, I know. We don't have any problem getting it. And of course, there's the airport, but you're not supposed to do that. I never tell them. Don't ever tell them you're putting it in a car. Just go get a couple 5-gallon cans, and nobody says anything. But
put it in your airport.
Of course, you got, that if you need octane that's higher, and you don't have catalytic converter, you can do that.
If you're using it for off-road use only.
Oh, it's legal off-road. Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Don't use it for anything else because we cannot endorse you using it for anything else.
Yeah, there's no highway taxes.
That's where you really get someone mad. Plus, don't use it in a vehicle with a catalytic converter because you will just destroy it.
And it's called low lead, but compared to the old leaded auto fuels, it's pretty high lead content. There has been a lot of progress toward unleaded, a replacement for aviation fuel, 100 low lead, and they're actually getting, it's a few more BTUs in it. I don't know what they're using for additives, but it's working really well. And people that are like a Bonanza, let's say, that's cruising at 160, they're getting like, I think it was a Bonanza that's getting like 168 instead of 166 miles per hour out of it. Same throttle settings. So that's real encouraging because we don't need that. The lead is really rough on things. And I mean, we use lead in leaded fuel in some of the engines we used that were really supposed to have automotive E10 in them, but we couldn't do that because uh, we're deploying the aircraft. So, you go to a local gas station, get auto fuel in you know, some third world country, you have no idea what you're getting. But we could get 100 low lead from military bases. So, you know, run 100 low lead. Well, when you do that, you've got to increase the service, tighten up the service intervals by a lot, because you get a lot of lead all over the spark plugs and exhaust valves. It's messy stuff. I can't wait to get rid of it. Dr. Go, cool about reusing the seats. Just curious what go fast parts you're putting in that motor and what it is. So basically there's an idle tube feed channel with correct wire drill bit. Open up 2,000, 3,000 inches, retest. Well, of course, if we use that Holly you have, we just change the jets. So
It's got
easy.
metering rods. Can't we just raise those up a little bit?
They're stepped. Those aren't tapered. They're stepped. Basically, there's an idle. Okay, I already read
They're
that.
absolutely tapered. I can see it right there. They're tapered.
Old Cars Music. Dr. Go and I were comparing our J bodies. Oh, you both have good cars. I assume his is the LS, and I guess yours is a Murata. Both cool cars. I'm guessing about the Murata. Mike N says I'm going to get an oxyacetylene torch first thing tomorrow. Nice. Well, don't ever breathe the acetylene.
Ugh. That just sounds gross.
Mike N says, "Oops, out of oxygen." When I've done that, I don't turn the acetylene on. I just turn the oxygen on, bleed it out, so I make sure, and then I just go like this and take some deep breaths, and man, I'll notice right away if I've got like bad chest cold. I'll notice right away that I feel better, and it's like, okay, I guess I got to go to the doctor. Because, you start getting a cold that's going down into your lungs. You know what that is. Yeah.
That's pneumonia.
Yeah, pneumonia. I've had it happen a couple of times, and that's kind of yeah, I don't like to go to the doctor, but yep, got to go to the doctor. That happened in Ohio. I went to the doctor, drove to the doctor. I'm sitting there in a room, and they had curtains on the rooms instead of doors. And the doctor was down the hallway. They came in, they took my temperature, and I don't know what, I'll put the thing on my finger, And this woman goes, "Oh, you got a fever, 103. I hear the doctor down the hallway go, "Who's that?" And I can hear him walking down the hall. He comes in and sticks his head in. He goes, "Is that you?" And I said to him, I just took my temperature at home, and it was 101.5 or 6 or something. I said, "That isn't right." And he puts his finger on this thing, and he goes, "This machine is not wrong." I go, "Ooh, okay." He goes, "How'd you get here? Did you drive?" I said, "Yeah." And he shakes his head, and he goes, "Brave man. You shouldn't be driving." Okay. But he came down and looked at me a couple of minutes later and prescribed something. I don't remember what. But within a couple of days, I was feeling good. Let's see here. BNR Racing, my 1997 454 truck ran sort of crappy on E10 gasoline until I bought Hypertech tuner for the EFI. Tune also correct for the E10 gasoline. Old Cars and Music, Dr. Go 318. Dr. Go, Old Cars Music, nice. I will have to check out those engine tech pistons. KJ Kiley, I could have used some oxygen at the top of Pikes Peak. Oh man, yeah, 14,000 feet. In an airplane, you're not allowed to do that. You have to be, a passenger can be, but a pilot cannot be that high up in the air without oxygen. or in a pressurized cabin with oxygen available. Rapid Transit Garage, good evening. How you doing? Good to have you in the stream.
Welcome to the stream, Rapid Transit.
DNR Racing, no Kim, run 110 race fuel or 100 low lead aviation gas in a slant 6, it will run good. No, my E10 theory calibration not present is true. Well, we know you start putting alcohol in gasoline and, you know, it's not going to be right. Pneumonia, a deep-seated cold, yeah. Old cars music. Kim, get some 600 wet or dry and reduce the diameter to meeting. I don't think you can roll it that small. Swapping to known, good fuel, no ethanol is easy, fast test. Yep. Oh, we have 100 low lead here in the shop. I'm just starting to run out of it. I got to go out there and fill a can up. See, what I do with that 100 low lead is like this time of year, I really should do it now, is put it in my lawnmower, my ride-around lawnmower. Make sure that, just siphon all the gas out of it. Put 100 low lead in there and make sure it gets all through the carburetor and everything and park it for the winter. Because then that stuff doesn't go bad. You can let that stuff sit there for years. It's not like the E10 or even like any other auto fuel. It won't sit there and go bad. I see airplanes out there at the airport sit there for a year or more and the fuel is still perfect. So when I put 100 low lead in the mowers and the stuff like that, it's just never have a gooed up carburetor in the spring. Dean Stevenson, RTG PU238. What is RTG? PU238 is what, plutonium? GM didn't calibrate for IC238. It's normally like uranium 238, U238. Or I suppose if you're smart enough, you can somehow refine it to U230, get to the U235 out of it. But that's every little country that wants nukes wants to do that. Okay, GM didn't calibrate for E10 gasoline until year 2000. Well, that's interesting. Dr. Go, we have 2 gas stations 50 miles apart in snowmobile race country, and you can buy 100 octane at a regular gas station with all other fuels at other pumps. This is off-road use only. Yeah, when I lived in Arizona, there's the dunes there, and all those people are running their what are they called, sand buggies and sand rails and stuff. Those guys either want race fuel with no lead, or they want E85. So there's a station right there that has all that stuff. They have 100 octane, I think it's no lead. They have 110 octane leaded fuel, and they have, of course, they have the 85. So all those racer guys out on the dunes, that's what they're running, is all that stuff. And it says right on there, for off-road use only. And a big fat thing like this, so you can't put that filler, you can't put it in a small thing like a passenger car has. Cars Music, Dr. Go, $185 for engine tech pistons versus $550 for KB 167s. I said, where do I sign? BNR Racing, I figured you had aviation 100 low lead gasoline round buff. Yeah, except I don't fly anymore. But the last time I bought it, I just checked it because I was going to go out there. What was it, like $4.85 a gallon, something like that?
Oh, I'm sure I didn't know.
And here, auto fuel right now is about what, 250 a gallon, something like that. Oh, I just pulled up the wrong thing. I'm gonna try to find it. I don't know if they'll have it on here. I don't show it. I'm gonna look it up.
See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the Dakota. I'm going to start the Dakota and run the Dakota. And as long as that works.
What the heck? $4.97 a gallon. Jet fuel's $5.41.
Yeah, I'm going to test this on the Dakota because we know the Dakota works. It'll be our experimental, and it's the right base.
Wayland Burger's here.
And we know that the Dakota thing will fit on there. So hi, hello, Wayland Burger. Welcome to the stream.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we always say hello to everybody if we say it.
You're right. I'm sorry. I got distracted because I was thinking about a thought.
Okay, so what? And then I interrupted you. Oh, Jet A. Didn't I just told you what Jet A was? Oh, I didn't remember it.
It's getting cheaper. I don't. Yeah, our fuel prices have been going down because the cost of crude, I guess, is down. I don't know.
Okay, Jet A, $5.41 a gallon. 100 low lead, $4.97. I'll leave it on the screen this time. Well, it says, hi, Buff and Kim. Hello. Tommy Hanlon, is Kim still working on the same part? Must be paying her an hourly. She's got 2 carburetors apart.
3
carburetors apart. So I don't know exactly where she is. She's got old, nasty old carburetors. And I hope she's not wasting her time.
Of course I'm wasting my time on them. Here you go. There's carburetor.
Dr. Gold, Buff, isn't there a third aviation fuel under development? Yeah, I was just talking all about that. There's a replacement for 100 low lead. It's 100 octane fuel that has no lead in it. And it is available in one place right now. I think in Texas, might be a couple other places. And they're going faster by about 2 knots, something like that, or maybe 2 miles an hour. The guy that was testing it was in a Bonanza. Yeah, I think he was going 166 miles an hour, and then at the same throttle setting, same everything, same altitude, he was going 168 with the new fuel, which tells me probably a little bit higher BTU. I don't know. It doesn't have lead in it, and it is certified for to run in engines that are supposed to have 100 low lead. The production on it isn't real high yet, and my guess is the companies that make 100 low lead, the old standby companies, are probably fighting. So, you know, there's some politics probably involved in it. Oh, and somebody says there's Jet B. Oh, here we go. Ads in 1 minute. I don't know. They didn't have any Jet B. There's all kinds of Jet. There's Jet. What's the Air Force use now? JP8. I can't even keep up with it all. We used to have JP4, and then the SR71s or JP7. I had a friend that was a crew chief on a KC135Q model, which is they refuel the SR71s. So they carried JP7, which had a real high flash point. And then some more SR71s flying, but now everything's JP8. So yeah, okay, down to like 9 seconds before the ad starts. Okay, I'll be quiet for a minute.
2294S. Can you see this? Look in there. How wonderful that is.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
Can't see that garbage stuck in there. There's a lot.
Okay, I'm having a hard time.
It's clogged.
Okay, maybe the commercials are over. I don't know.
Suffice to say, she's clogged.
Dr. I'm seeing some new fuel tank installations that are using partition tanks in case they need to separate later. It's now both have 100 low lead in them. Oh, Jet B is the cold temp one, I think. Oh, is that the one that has the yeah, that stuff that keeps it from freezing, from getting thick? Yeah, you got to have that. Can't be running around without that stuff. It's cold up there. Yeah, I think all of it does though, because you're getting a jet going up around 40,000 feet. Dean Stevenson says, I missed, and I'm pissed. Except he didn't say pissed. He said PI-55. So, looks like pissed.
I see. Sneaky. He's using them snaky things. He's using snaky words, Mama. Mom Puddin's using weird words.
I know we use JP8 on a lot of diesel engines, ground power kind of stuff, and it caused a lot of problems with fuel controls because it doesn't lubricate like diesel does. So there was a stuff we sent all the deployments, and they're supposed to pour that into their JP8 to run it in the diesel engines. This military's got plenty of JP8. So whatever that stuff was, you can put it in the JP8, you put it in the jet fuel so it doesn't hurt the fuel controls in the diesel engines. Yeah, Kim's really going after it here.
I'm seeing what's worth fixing. These are good carbs. They just need
Dean Stevenson. Meet. I got a D. AC Dixie. ACDC.
ACDC.
Man, that rain is just going out there. It sounds like it's just one of those good old soakers. It's not going to go away for a while. It's not like a fast-moving storm that goes through.
Go ahead and show them the inside of this carburetor. There, I'll show you. I'll show you guys what I'm up against today.
Horrible storm. All I see is storm.
Oh no. Hello. You have a light here? No.
It's over there by the, where I put my stuff that I have to take to the house.
Okay.
Patrick Sullivan, cat's eyes contracts, high voltage. Oh, you got that light. Buddy Carfano, rain better than snow. No kidding. Yeah, it's like 60 degrees out there. It's 70 in here. It's like, Kim, it's warmed up 4 degrees since we've been in here. Oh, yeah, you got a good view of that, don't you?
Look how bad the accelerator pump pit is.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I mean, this one is... That was never going to run. That's one of the ones that Who's the fellow that Dr. Art gave to me? He gave it to me. He said
Dr. Art gave you what?
he gave me 2 of these
Oh,
carburetors.
okay.
He said they need rebuilt. I said okay.
So if y'all know who Dr. Art is, we were down at his house, about an hour and a half south of here, and he gave us some stuff.
Generous of him to throw us a carburetor.
Gave Kim a carburetor or two. Thank you. Brenda says corn gas strikes again.
Oh man, and I mean, I have no idea what those carburetors have been through in their life.
Yeah, they're old. Who knows?
Yeah.
BNR says could use vinegar to clean the inside football area. Soak it. I never even thought of that.
I got Campo. I got vinegar. You
Where's the
think
vinegar?
vinegar is the best thing to use?
We got vinegar at the house.
I got vinegar here.
We got some vinegar up here?
Lots of vinegar.
Let's see, there's something else I wanted to read here. Oh, Mike N said it stormed all day in South Louisiana. You guys getting it now? Yep, that blob goes all the way from Louisiana up to here. It looks like we just gonna have it for a while. Tommy Hanlon says, I don't mind warm rain. Yeah, it's not cold. It's coming up from the south. And we get rain coming up from the south, at least it's not freezing cold. You know, I would much rather have 60-degree weather than below zero like last year. Last year this time, it was 3 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, which is cold. Dr. Go, I saw the SR-71 theme Mustang that both Jack Roush and Carol Shelby collaborated on together. Their only ever collaboration. It was auctioned for charity. It was at EAA before Carol passed. I don't even know what that was. An SR-71 theme Mustang. I didn't know about that. BNR Racing guys have used toilet bowl cleaner also. Mike N says that 30% vinegar is some nasty stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the percentage is. Patrick Sullivan says, damn, my cab crashed. Dean Stevenson, BBD, bathroom bowl decant. BNR Racing vinegar I have used to clean muck inside of quadrojet carbs. Kim, I don't know if you heard any of that. I don't know where you were.
I just came back in.
Oh, she was outside. She didn't hear any of it.
I'm checking on the Studebaker. It's out there.
You're checking on what? What are you checking on?
Studebaker.
Oh, the Studebaker. I think it's done soaked. I think our machines are out there soaked.
Checking on the Studebaker.
Mike N says you need to use gloves for the 30% vinegar. It will burn your skin. Well, I have no idea what the percentage is that we have. It's probably something.
This is a 5% vinegar. Will it even work?
It says it's 5%. It's probably something meant for the kitchen.
Is it even worth soaking in the
Is it even worth soaking with 5% vinegar?
I know nothing about it.
So you want to make it still and we'll make it 30%.
No, I really don't know. Nice.
BNR says it's use vinegar to clean muck inside of quadrojets. Mike N says, yeah, make a salad with that stuff. Ooh. Kim, I can't believe it. 70 degrees in here.
Good.
That fire's not real big. It's just sort of glowing over there. Brenda, barely broken Dodge, BBD.
What's that? Badly broken Dodge.
Barely broken Dodge.
Oh no, it's badly broken.
She says it's badly broken Dodge. BNR, man, new Holly carburetor street drivers are expensive now. Yeah, that rain's really going.
It sure is.
Patrick Sullivan, they still have the gallon carb cleaner cans.
Yeah, they do.
Hogwash, I think it was called. You know, the stuff I liked was the McKay's parts dip, but I don't even get it anymore. We used to get a 5-gallon can. Take a like a screen made dip thing. You put the carburetor down in there for about 10 minutes, pull it out. It looked brand new. But I don't think you get McKay's parts dip anymore. It was completely different than Berryman's. We had Berryman's back then, but it was okay, but it wasn't like McKay's part. Yeah, Mike says McKay's parts dip. Man, that was the stuff, but I don't think that's, if they have it around, I doubt it's the same thing. Nothing we have today works that well.
Smells like Easter eggs.
What smells like Easter eggs?
The vinegar.
Oh, she says the vinegar smells like Easter eggs. Now, but when you put it in there?
Well, you have to use vinegar when you're dyeing Easter eggs. That's all.
Oh, I don't know what she's saying. Patrick Sullivan, that's what we used at work. Hogwash. Huh. BNR Racing, the old carburetor dip cleaner would eat aluminum oxide and steel. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Strip, maybe? I don't know. Steel rust away. Yeah, the old carburetor dip, the stuff we used was McKay's parts dip. Man, that stuff, you could put a carburetor in that stuff for, I don't know, 10 minutes, pull it out, clean it all off. It looked like a brand new carburetor. I mean, there was nothing left there except the carburetor. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. Good evening. Welcome to the chat. Kim's over there. I'm trying to talk loud enough so she can hear me. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat stepped into the chat. Kim's so far away she can't hear me.
Welcome to the stream.
She says, welcome to the stream. It's raining pretty hard, so the roof's making a lot of noise. Yeah. So it's hard to yell across the shop. Dr. Go. She just showed up. She says, hello.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, I'm sorry I'm late. Let's see here. Dr. Go, I have that gallon carb cleaner with a basket. Forgot the name. I bought it at O'Reilly's.
Oh.
Steel iron rust, I see.
Oh, really?
Mostly old parts. Hey, good evening.
Old parts.
Late night at Buff's place. Good evening, all. See, mostly old parts is here.
Oh, hi, Ron. Ron Ward, the voice of the No Name Nationals.
The voice of the No Name Nationals.
Mostly old parts and rust. And Miss One-Eyed Cat, welcome to the stream. You don't have to be sorry you're late. You didn't even have to stop in at this late at night. Thanks for hanging out.
It's just like we have this on while we're doing some work, and mostly Kim's messing with some old carburetors, trying to make it good.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing a lot of wrenching, and that motor doesn't need pulled out till next week, so I'm just working on other things. We're gonna need a Super 6 carburetor for it, so I'm amping up my brain power towards Super 6-iness.
Mostly old parts. Berryman's used to be the product. Yeah, but there was better stuff than that. Do you remember McKay's parts dip? Only the old folks in here remember McKay's parts dip. I'm 70, and I remember that when I was a teenager. And that stuff, you could put a carburetor in that, and it would just clean. I mean, it looked like a new carburetor. McKay's parts dip or Berryman's, it'll take out all the nastiness.
But then again, this carburetor is 60 years old.
Oh, but if you put that in McKay's parts dip, it would look new.
I don't believe it.
I know, because you never saw the stuff. Vinegar works pretty good,
Probably
Kim.
Causes cancer.
Takes a few hours soaking or overnight dipping it. Oh yeah, like McKay's parts dip, you couldn't leave a carburetor in it overnight.
There wouldn't be any more left, though. I mean, this is a pretty filthy.
And it didn't have a rough smell. It had a completely different smell than like a petroleum product or something like Berryman's. Berryman's, you smell it, you know that's a cleaner. McKay's Parts Dip had kind of an odd smell to it.
Oh, if you were here earlier, I got power lube in my eye. That was fun. Burned a little. You know what though? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like a minute or two later, I flushed it for like 10 seconds and it felt better. I was like, oh, okay. I was worried I was going to be blind.
Most of the old parts of solder seal gunk. See, and I remember those brand names used to, and they might still be around, used to have a really good carb soup too. You know, and that may have been one of those.
I wonder if we should put it in like some acetone or something. I'm not too worried about it. I just want to make sure that the ports are all cleaned out and get some of this.
Yeah, better living through chemistry. But yeah, it might have made three-eyed fish or killed trees or something.
Probably.
Yeah, you know, and that's the downside to some of those old chemicals that work so well is they're probably harmful to something.
Yeah, and then people dumped them down.
Oh yeah, and of course nobody was careful with it. Where'd it go? It went down the sink or
yeah. And some of those chemicals are dangerous. They'll kill all the fish downstream.
It seems to me that McKay's Parts Dip, the cleanup for it was water, I think. I think we washed everything with water afterwards and cleaned it up and air hose and everything. And man, I mean, carburetors are brand new, but yeah, I don't know what that stuff did to anything. Probably nothing good. Yeah, buddy says McKay's would be considered toxic waste nowadays. Geez, just about everything's toxic waste. But yeah, it probably is. That's probably what happened to it.
They come up with a new formula, something better.
I miss Tri-Flow Teflon spray, but yeah, turned out to be bad for having water and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, and I understand why we had to get rid of it, but I missed how it worked.
Yeah, right. When it works, you're like,
I think it was chromic acid in vintage carburetor dip. It could have been because it didn't smell like a solvent like acetone or like the new carburetor cleaners. It had a different smell. It wasn't particularly strong smelling, and it could very well have been some kind of an acid. I have some of that cleaner buff. It's talking about what's that Corvette Mike's Burr Ridge, Chicago when I worked there. Dean Stevenson, Buddy, Toxic Crusader versus Captain Planet. Seal part. What's Kim painting in the tub? Oh, she's not really painting. She's got 3 BBD carburetors, and one of them was a gift that was kind of old and cruddy looking, and the other 2 were just old and cruddy looking. And she's trying to make a good carburetor out of them.
Trying to make one good carburetor out of three junk ones and a random kit.
We ended up we had a problem with put this engine together. It's her engine. She made a decision that seemed like a good decision at the time to put a used cam and lifters in there.
Just to leave the one that was in there.
And when we started up, 4 of the push rods are not spinning. So you can't leave that in there.
Some people might not have even checked. They might have just run it.
So
it ran so good. If you'd had the valve cover on and didn't look, you'd have just driven it. It ran so good.
What we got together with Shane Polito, and he's gonna make a cam for us and get us some of those new lifters, and we're gonna put those in there. Oh, and some a little bit stronger springs, although the springs are only like 15 pounds stronger, something like that, so it's not going to be real hefty. And while we're doing it, it's got a 1-barrel on it, but she has the 2-barrel Super 6 manifold that we got from Shane. So she's trying to get a BBD put together for that.
It's going to take 2 weeks for the parts to get here.
So might as well do something.
So we're trying to do some of the stuff that we decided. There was a bunch of stuff on the list that we said, no, we're just going to leave that till later because we don't have time. Well, now we're going to do it. And Professor P said, well, you're going to put that Super 6 intake on, aren't you? And we said, well, no. And he said, well, put the Super 6 on. You'll get, with the cam and the Super 6, you'll get like 30 or 40 horsepower more. And you really may not get really see a lot of change if you don't do the whole conversion.
All I've asked for either of those are the needed Super 6 carb. Probably. See, and I like the Autolite carburetor with the adapter because the holes are about the same size, but the bolt pattern's different. That's what we have on the Valiant. Man, I love that carburetor because I had so many of the old Fords of those things. I just feel comfortable with it. And man, does that thing run great. But
any one of these three would fit the intake manifold without any adapter, and linkage would work pretty good and stuff like that. But we don't know if any of them are able to actually work because they're all kind of cruddy. But if they won't work, then I'll know that none of them are going to work, and then we can just move forward. So it's sort of a trial and error kind of.
Okay, I gotta catch this. This is one-eyed cat. Oh, what's this say? Freaking on. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Was supposed to call the tire shop today and get new tires on his everyday driver. He did. Oh, do you think he did it? Oh,
who was?
I don't know. It's scrolled by too fast. Up there at the top, read what Mrs. One-Eyed Cat at 12:19.
Oh, Don was supposed to call the tire shop today, get new tires on his everyday driver. Do you think he did? I guess he didn't. I'm guessing you wouldn't have said nothing unless he did.
Indirect connection. Indirect connection. Hello all, stopping by on the way to bed. Well, good evening. Good to have you here. Rabbit Transit Garage. I've used Totally Awesome from Dollar General on carb bodies, and it works surprisingly well. Well, that's kind of interesting. Because I just got some of that.
Is that like the Fabuloso kind of brand?
Some kind of cleaner. It's just like something used in the kitchen. Surface stuff. I don't know. I've heard that before, though.
I mean, anything.
Buddy Carapano. Anybody else hate new gas cans? I've done videos on that subject. While we got stuck in Kim's Dart when we first got the other engine running in it, and she ran it out of gas. She thought it was full of gas, but it wasn't. And so I had to go get gas. Came back with a can, the filler's on the side way down low, and we managed to pour gas all down my shoe, and we ended up getting a big funnel and still got gas all over from a stinking new gas can. The ones that are supposed to be safety cans don't leak or spill anywhere, and we did nothing but got gas everywhere. They work fairly well on my mower because the filler's at the top, so a short thing works on that. But a car where the filler's on the side, guaranteed those new gas cans are going to pour gas everywhere except into the tank, and I just hate it. Okay, let's see. Stunned by how well Totally Awesome products seem to work. Yeah, I've heard that from so many people. I just got some Totally Awesome something. Yeah, so Patrick Sullivan said, I'm glad I have gas cans from the 70s still. Something happened to mine. I don't know what happened. People borrow cans, and then pretty soon they're gone, And I'm pretty generous with that stuff. But I don't know what happened to my old. Remember the cans that were they had kind of a wide bottom. They weren't triangles, but they were kind of swooped in at the top. I had a bunch of those, but I don't know what happened to them. Those cans were great. And the little thing on the top that you put on top of the filler neck, whatever you call that thing, the spout, that thing was supposed to go inside and then get screwed in there, and those things never leak. And man, I don't know what happened to all those cans. They're gone. Most of the old parts, just an FYI, a Holley 350 has the same bolt pattern as a BBD. Kim's not paying attention.
No, it doesn't.
The Holley 350, is that the one that has the bowl on the side?
That's as the same as what's on your car.
Yeah, the Holly 350 I think is like the 2 barrel, has the same pattern, bolt
Needs an
pattern
adapter.
as the Ford carburetor. I can't think of the Autolite carburetor. It's like a half a Holly 4 barrel. Yeah, there's an adapter that goes on
I'm
there.
not claiming to know for sure. I'm just saying, like, I thought that it was a Ford pattern. Do they make both a Ford or a?
Because we have Holly carburetors here, 2 barrel carburetors, and I've talked to Kim about using that because she's got one that's almost brand new. It's had like 5 minutes run on it. So, we buy that adapter, and the holes are the same size, the important holes, but the mounting holes are out just a little bit. So it's an adapter that just, all it does is adapts the bolt pattern. I have one on my Valiant.
I just sprayed
And
up
that
the
thing,
cleaner on it. I'm gonna go dump.
I
I'm
just,
gonna rinse it
I
off.
just love those Autolite carbs. What did you spray on it? Oven cleaner?
Oven cleaner.
Uh, Miss One-Eyed Cat, sorry I was supposed to call. Racing, a friend had a 74, 75 slant 6. I'm sorry, it's scrolling by so quickly. It was a good runner. A good funnel solution works. Also, if a gas can goes bad, save the old cap and nozzle. Yeah, I wish I would have. And you can go on oh God, I'm sorry, I can't keep up with this. The what is it? Amazon. There's some people that just make spouts that screw onto the new cans. I've thought about buying those, and I bought the little adapters where you drill a hole in the can, and there's a thing that screws in there that has an air inlet, so when you're pouring the stuff out of the new gas can, it doesn't have to sit there and go through the stupid hose, the air relief hose. I just so many times I've worked with one of those, I just want to throw it. Uh, Dr. Go, I think I've seen people use oven cleaner on cast iron heads, then rinse with water, dry right away with compressed air. Well, you know what oven cleaner is? It's the same thing as hot tank solution. I used to have a hot tank, and man, I've had a couple of hot tanks. I miss those. They went away with my radiator shop. But yeah, that sodium hydroxide. It's the same thing that you use for Drano. I just converted Rapid Transit. I converted my safety cans to old school. I actually did a video on that. You can buy conversion nozzle and vents off it. Yeah, I was just saying you can get those off Amazon. I haven't ever bought any, but I should. I should make one that's long and has a curved thing on it to go in like these cars here with the filler neck that's way down on the side of the car, because the new gas cans, every bit of the gas will be on the ground, guaranteed. So what we do is we have one of those big, long, bendable stainless funnels, but still you're pouring gas out of the can into the funnel, and some of it still ends up somewhere else. See, Dean Stevenson, with an adapter, it does, Ron. The BBD carburetor is a nice platform. 1.875 by 3.25. The Carter BBD, oh my God, has 1 1/4 throttle bores, which are closely spaced, make it easier conversion than the Holly. Oven cleaner on old sludged up engine works really good. Yeah, because it's the same thing. Oven cleaner, Drano, hot tank solution. Hot tank, the dry stuff is sodium hydroxide. Works wonders. I love my 2008 Mitsubishi Raider. Mopar, Dodge, Dakota really keeps going reliable 100%. 2008 Mitsubishi Raider, that's a really good looking truck, isn't it? It's kind of a big nose on the front end. It's just beefy looking small truck. Yeah, I like the looks of those things. There was one parked out in front of a grocery store I used to go to in Arizona. It was always there. It was a black one, and every time I went to the grocery store, I'd see that there, wishing I had it. Every time, this is One-Eyed Cat, every time we lend something out, I never see it again, so I stopped lending stuff out. Yeah, I've tried to do that, but I'm still a nice guy. Yeah, my whole there's a couple things I really missed. I had a snap-on puller set that had like every kind of puller you can imagine. I lent it to a guy that worked in a tire shop next door to me, and the next day he still had it. Well, I lent it to him that evening, and then looking for him the next day, and they go, "Well, he quit. Yesterday was his last day." What? Where'd he go? Well, he moved to Oregon. I was in California. Well, there went my snap-on puller set. I've never had another one. I bought some other pullers, but didn't have anything like that. Oh, ads inserted. Okay, maybe the ads are done. Where was I here? Brenda says the sun eats up the conversion spouts. That's possible. Just keep them inside, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be annoying. Yeah, BNR says sodium hydroxide. Yep. Yeah, I used to buy like I don't know how big that was. Like one of those big cardboard drums. It's like a 25 or 35 gallon drum. Just put big scoops of it in my hot tank. Yeah, same thing. And I buy it. Drano. You could use Drano. You could use oven cleaner. We shot my Valiant. We shot the whole thing with oven cleaner. Nice warm day down at Tony's shop. Then used his pressure washer. Cleaned that thing all up before we drug it up here and put an engine in it.
It took so long to put that motor together.
The stupid regulations are what caused the company that made Blitz gas cans to go out of business. Yeah, you know what I should do is I should make some copper tubing and a big washer or something and make a thing that fits inside the plastic screw cap part's okay, and make a thing for one of my safety gas cans so I can, like have a big long curved spout so I could put gas in the older cars. Because I could do it so it wouldn't leak and it'd be pretty nice. Yeah, old, but I think the cause of that lawn contractors driving around with open cans of people trying to smell. Yeah, it's like everything. Can't fix stupid. So they give us cans that are stupid. But what I hate about the new cans, it's supposed to fix all the stupid, but it doesn't fix all the stupid. You spill gas everywhere, all over my pants, in my shoes, on the lawn, down the side of the car. They suck. The safety shit sucks. So somebody somewhere thinks they fixed all the stupid, but they didn't.
I don't think they care. They just want to sell new gas cans.
BNR Racing. Oh my, Buff, like a $1,500 snap-on puller set today. Yeah, it probably is $1,500. It was a big, oh God, it was a big case like this. It was thick, and you open up and there are all these pullers in there. It was snap-on. Gone. Lent it out to a guy that worked next door that I knew. Figured I'd have it the next day. I didn't know he'd already quit and he was leaving. Yeah, old cars and music, sodium hydroxide, lie. That's exactly right. Dean, YouTube Premium, $9.95 per month. I pay, no ads. BNR Racing, how come yours is $9.95? Mine's like $16. Are you the one that said you got it through Verizon or something? I don't know what the deal is. There's different prices, and I don't know why mine's $16. Or it's like 1550 or 1590 or something. What I like about YouTube Premium is the content creators still get paid. You can get stupid people to fix stupid cans. Dr. Go, time for me to head out for the night. Carry on, everyone. Thanks for everyone teaching me a few new tricks. Okay. Always learn every time I join live here. Much appreciated. Well, good night, Dr. Go. Thanks for stopping in.
Say good night to
Patrick
Mrs.
Sullivan.
Dr. Go as well.
Patrick Sullivan, tell us what you really mean. What's that? My tirade about the
Really feel.
about the gas cans? Oh, Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. Something about UTG. She pulled it away. I don't know what that was about. Right. Let's see here. Oh man, Snap-on puller set for diesel mechanic shop. Man, that was a really good puller set. I remember that. Shit, that was in the 80s. So I don't know what I paid for it. That would have been about 1985, 86, somewhere in there. That guy walked off with it. Dean Stevenson, I'm totally on board with safety. That's why I work around safety limitations. Dr. Go is now Dr. Stop. I think you're right. BNR Racing, 985. My new stuff. Yeah, I know mine's more. I just saw it go through my looked in my where they pulled the money out. It was in my account. And I saw what it was, and I thought it was about $16. I think it was just under 16. I'll go look and see. There might be different levels or different. I don't know what the thing is. I'll have to go check it out and see. But I know what I like about it is you can eliminate the commercials, get rid of the ads, but the content creators still get paid. So, and the other ad blockers, the ones that are not YouTube, you know, you don't, content creators don't get paid. Then there's people like Tavo that has one of those. So when there's ads, he feels bad about it. So he gives us a super chat, which is fine. You know, I really appreciate that. How about a bigger carb, Dr. Bill? What is this? Dr. Let my people go. Dr. Gone. That's what I said. Dr. Go says, Dr. Gone. Yeah, I said that one. Simpler is often safer than many safety mechanisms, especially if made to a low price point. Dr. Stop Go. I've seen a sign. Dr. Gone should be your next bumper sticker. Yeah, on the front says Dr. Go, and the back says Dr. Gone. What was that? Dr. Gone. Could be an out-of-state Tennessee handling fee. Out-of-state Tennessee handling. I don't know. It seems to me there was some choices there, and I made a choice. I don't remember. I'm going to check it out, though. But did you hear we just had another plane crash in South Korea this time? 122 dead. 737-800. When was that? That must have been since we came up here tonight. I don't know what happened there. Are you a premium channel member on another channel, Buff? Premium channel member on another channel.
Yeah, you are.
What does that mean?
Aren't you a premium member?
Oh, you're right. That's right. I am a member of a couple of channels, and that's why I get charged more. You are right. I am a member of, what's his name up there in New York? Lunar Outlaw Garage, Lunar Outlaw. I am a member of his, and there's another one I think I'm a member. So that's why I'm getting charged more. And no, I didn't know about this plane crash. So why is it I don't fly anymore? You know, if they let me sit up front, I'm tired of it. I got so many friends been killed in airplane crashes. I got 22 friends been killed in airplane crashes. It's enough. Stevenson, I've missed out on ads. It might be because it's Sunday here. I blame Christians. Maybe we should ask Jews and Seventh-day Adventists to make a contribution. This is not religious advice. Yeah, 2 to 3 hours ago. That's since we were up here. How come we don't go on UTG anymore? What do you mean I don't go on UTG anymore? I'm there, you know, on Sunday night, he is so busy when I make contributions, it just flies by. If I'm on there on Wednesday night, and I'm usually on Dallas and Shane's on Wednesday night, because there's too much going on, and I like that live that they do. But like this week, Dallas and Shane were off because of Christmas, so I was on UTG's Wednesday night.
No, you weren't. You were sleeping.
That's right. You were on there. But yeah, we do participate on that one sometimes. But then, you know, there aren't as the chat isn't going by as quickly. So Kim was on there, and then I watched it afterwards, and I watched all the interaction between Kim and Tony. And he's almost kind of invited me to come back down there and do a live with him. So I may do that. I'll get a hold of him. And
he's not the easiest man to get a hold of.
You can't call Tony on the phone. And if you text him, you know, one time I talked to Tony on the phone, and I'd left his place, and it was about half an hour, 45 minutes later, something like that. I was stuck on the interstate with car problems, and I called him, and he answered the phone. He came out and helped me. And it was pretty cool because he's a busy guy, and he doesn't take phone calls. But he took my call 45 minutes after I left his house, which is pretty cool. Pretty good guy. But if I text him, he'll probably look at it. And if I text Kathy, she'll probably look at it. And but he did invite me to come down there and do a live with him. So maybe I'll do that.
You should go down on a Wednesday. Hang out with him and Dr.
Except Wednesday is a night I don't want to miss.
You can miss one.
Yeah, Lunar's in upstate New York. He's up like halfway up the state, right on the Massachusetts border. Somewhere right in there. Yeah, Lunar got all tied up with what was it? I can't think of the.
Was it the roadkill people? No.
No. Lunar got in with who's the people that used to do all the
Engine Masters?
They had like a catalog with all the old cars for sale and everything for decades. And then they started doing
Hastings?
TV. Huh?
Hastings?
No, Hastings makes rain.
I don't remember. I'm asking him.
No, so anyway. Yeah, it began with H. I can't think of
Haggerty?
Hemmings. It's Hemmings. Buddy Carfano gets a couple points for that.
2 points.
Okay, so it was
3 points.
Lunar got all tied up with Hemmings and their TV stuff. So I just didn't. I just stayed a member, and it isn't really expensive. And because I know him, you know, he's a nice guy. But then he's starting to do YouTube again. And he stopped in Tony's, and he stopped in a couple other lives I've been on. He's been in here. So, yeah, I've just stayed a member. Mike N says, Kathy is the filter. Yeah, I've sat there with Tony. I'm sitting there with Tony, and Tony starts going off on some something with, financial stuff or some political thing. And I'll be looking at Kathy, and she's got the camera, and she's sitting there going like this, going like this, and going like this, and staring at Tony. And she isn't saying anything, but she's like telling Tony to shut up. And Tony's looking right at her, and he just goes right on with what he's saying, just ignores Kathy. And once in a while, he'll go, "What do you want?" Something like that. So, Mrs. One Eye, Mrs. One Eye Cat says, "Oh, to his place." Yeah, I may do that again soon. Dean Stevens says, "Nick's garbage." I mean, Nick's garage. You know what happened? Nick's garage. It was during the whole whatever. I don't know. We're not allowed to talk about it. You know the thing we had in 2020 and 2021, where we all had to wear the masks, and the border was closed. They were trying to run an engine on Nick's dyno, and that whole disaster. Nothing wrong with the engines. It was the closed border messed everything up. So Dean Stevens says, Kathy's bananas, protector of UTG. I know Luna and Tony had a fallout. Yeah, Luna and
they got an argument.
Well, really what caused that was the whole, it was trying to get that engine across the border at a bad time in our history. And it just got really screwed up. They finally got it up there. They had problems with it. And then bringing it back became a problem. And then they had to fix it and take it back up there. And they just couldn't get it back up there. So they gave up.
Dean Do we have any more paper towels? Are they all gone now?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Do you have a roll up here at all? No. Oh, you're hiding.
No, I just set them down.
In a hidden spot.
Is Dylan McCool? Dylan McCool is near us. He is south of us about.
Never met him.
About an hour and a half or so. I don't know exactly where he lives. I know about where he lives. I know he's a pretty cool guy, but no, I don't know him. Indirect Connection says, "Good night, all. Take care. Thanks for stopping by."
Indirect Connection, you've been here. Thank you for hanging out.
BNR Racing says, "I like it here." Well, good. Thank you. Dean Stevenson, one set of AMC lifters can ruin a great day. Yeah, Dylan is south of Nashville. Nashville's about an hour south of us. Well, it depends on what roads we take. We could take back roads, or we could go over and then take interstate. So I tell people Nashville's about an hour. And then Dylan's south of that, so he's an hour and a half, something like that. Don't know exactly where he is. See, me too. I stalked Dean Stevenson. Me too. I stalked you. BNR Racing. Anywhere you are, there I am. Pontiac guys. I always liked Pontiacs, but never had. Oh, I did. I did have a couple Pontiacs, but they weren't Pontiacs I built. I had a 67. I don't remember if it was a Catalina or a Bonneville. Big white two-door giant car, like a fastback thing. Loved that car. And then I had and I traded it straight off for a 67 Camaro RSSS. So that was a good trade. And then I had a 68 Firebird. It was actually my son's car, but it was here for a long time. I think that's it. Dylan McCool reminds me of Aviation 101. They look like brothers to me. Mike and twins. Tim had to step away for a while. Did Kim get the engine pulled out? No, we didn't. She didn't work on the engine at all. She's been working on carburetors. She had 3 carburetors, trying to make one good one out of it. Patrick Sullivan, I'm out of here, drifting off in my chair. Good night, folks.
You know what? I think we're probably
good night,
all going to be
Patrick.
out of here before very long.
And Kim says we're all going to be out of
We've
here
been
before
going for
very
like
long.
3 hours.
Yeah, we've been here.
I don't want anybody to feel obligated to stick
10:30,
around much
11:30,
longer.
12. Yeah, we've been here a little over 3 hours. BNR Racing, this is one of the best no-name national live chats now with Buff and Kim. You know, we do this. We just, if we're working in the shop, we usually just do like a impromptu live, and we usually come on about 10 o'clock in the evening Central Time. We came on tonight at 9:30. The reason we do 10 o'clock is a lot of people wrap up 9:30, something like that, and we don't want to step on all our friends that are also on lives, and we're kind of all night in the shop people, so that's why we do that. We're the cleanup crew.
Cleaning up. Yeah.
And then our Tuesday night, we always come on at 7 Central. So, and we've got that coming up. Tuesday night will be New Year's Eve. We'll be on at 7 Central for New Year's Eve. Yep, she pulled it out. Did a full rebuild and jammed her back in there. Good job.
It's done.
Good job.
I actually used my teeth to regrind the cam. Yep.
What's this, Dean Stevenson? I've met Dylan McCool. He worked with me when his father was at the Dunedin City Council organizing the Storytellers Concert with Stevie Nicks. New Zealand, December 2017. Ask him next time you talk. Wow.
I think he's full of poop. But
So was he in New Zealand?
I never talked to Dylan McCool. When am I ever going to ask Dylan McCool this question?
I never talked to Dylan McCool. I've been in his channel many times. I've watched his videos.
I've never seen him do it live. Does he do lives?
I don't know. I don't watch all his videos. I watch some of his videos because he's an interesting guy. He's got a nice big shop now. Nice shop.
Yeah, he does.
Well, what do you want to do, Kim? I think you're talking like you want to end it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give everybody a free. Hey, look at the Studebaker flashing.
Thank you for the super chats.
Yeah, thank you for the super chats.
Never expected, but it was generous, and we appreciate it. We didn't have any mods tonight, so thanks everybody for being on good behavior.
Okay, Buddy says, don't you mean when Kim's working, never see Buff get his hands dirty? Hey, you know, I helped her put that engine in because it took 2 of us.
Yeah, he came out early today and started the fire, so we'd have a nice comfortable.
A lot of times there's things
on.
you don't see because
we can't live stream all the times that we're doing stuff.
So.
But I don't make them crawl around on the ground, and I hope that when you're 70 years old, whoever you're working with doesn't make you crawl on the ground either.
I have problems getting up off the ground, which I didn't used to, and now I do. So I don't know. When we get my car up here, I told Kim I'm just going to have to struggle with it getting out from under the car, and I got it when my car's up here. I have to work on it more. And Kim could sit here.
I will make you work on your car some.
So everybody's saying adios. I guess that means we're done.
All right, everybody.
When you say adios,
go out and look at the drones in the sky. Next time it's clear.
And Mexican Spec, we're thinking about you if you come back and watch this.
Yeah.
He'll come back and watch live sometimes, but he's busy delivering cars.
He's not going to watch all the way to the
end. No, but he comes through and he'll look at stuff.
Hey, if you've stayed till the end, I award you a point. It's on your honor. Keep track of your points.
Buddy Carfano, was he in and out or not? But he was here. So.
Yeah, he's been here the whole time.
Olive says, cheers,
I just mean anybody who still hears the sound of my voice, you get a point.
Tim says later. Bruce Colchin, good night. Wow, Bruce is here for a long time. He just hasn't been real talkative. Okay, everybody take care.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you maybe tomorrow or Tuesday.